हेलो बच्चा लोग, कैसे हो तुम सब लोग। आई एम आशीष फ्रॉम इन्फिनिटी लर्न बाय श्री चैतन्य एंड आज इस वर्कशॉप में हम बात करेंगे जेई मेन जो हुआ था 28 जुलाई को सेशन 1 में, दैट इज द मॉर्निंग सेशन। तो उस मॉर्निंग सेशन में जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आए थे, चाहे वो मैथ्स के हो, फिजिक्स के हो, केमिस्ट्री के हो, वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस ऑल ऑफ देम इन दिस पर्टिकुलर वर्कशॉप. I, being a maths mentor for you guys, so I would be helping you out, understanding, enhancing your knowledge of mathematics through these 30 questions that appeared in the JEE Main. So without wasting any more time, let us dive into the concepts. Right, so every problem I would be discussing the concept, discussing the approach, so stay with me and try to learn each one of them. So we'll start with the question number 1. Question number 1 says it came from a differential equation. So I need to find out the solution of this differential equation, which is given by this. X is positive and this intersect the line x is equal to 1 at y is equal to 0. So if this curve is intersecting, what can we say? We can say that for x1 and y0, this point will lie on the curve. Over here, I can say this point will also lie on the curve. So I have 2 points that lie on the curve and I have to find out the value of alpha. So logically, if I observe, this point will help me to find out the constant of integration. Once I have the constant, then I have the complete equation. And if I satisfy this point in the equation, I'll get the value of alpha. So in short, what we need to do is, we need to integrate this and find out the solution of this differential equation. Let us try out this. So this says x dy is equal to under root of x square plus y square into dx plus y dx, right? Now we can take y dx on the left hand side. So we'll have x dy minus y dx. Take x square out of this root, so you will have 1x over here. If I take x square, I will have 1 plus y by x whole square dx. Now I'll divide both sides by x square. So it becomes x dy minus y dx upon x square. Take this under root term over here only. So I'll have upon 1 plus y by x whole square. This will be equal to x dx upon x square. This is nothing but dx upon x. Now if I integrate, observe this. This whole numerator is the derivative of y by x. And over here I have 1 plus y by x whole square. So if I have to integrate, if I put y by x is equal to t, this will be dt and this would be 1 root of 1 plus t square, right? And over here I'll get dx by x is equal to ln x. So I can integrate both of these expressions. So I'll get ln of y by x plus under root of 1 plus y by x whole square. This is equal to ln of x plus ln of c. So we got this equation. Now the job is done. I'll put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0 in this equation. I'll get the value of c. Once c is known, then I'll put x is equal to 2 and y is equal to alpha, and from there we can get the value of alpha, and that is what we need to find out, the value of alpha. Right, so this is the example number 1 that came from the differential equation. Right, we can easily solve this inside the mains and the 4 marks are in our pocket. Next one, ITF से आया, that is inverse trigonometric function. Question क्या बोल रहा है? The principal values of the ITF are to be considered. The domain of this function, so I have to find out the domain, right? So cos inverse is defined only when the domain lies between -1 to 1. So I know no matter what x you put, this value should lie between -1 to 1. So for this function to be defined, x square minus 4x plus 2 upon x square plus 3, this should lie between -1 to 1, right? So I have to solve these two inequations, right? Now inside the examination hall, we can use the option to find out the answer, right? Because that would save time. The conventional approach would be, if I solve this inequation and if I solve this inequation, I solve these two inequations, I will find out the range of x. Once the range of x is there, then I'll take the intersection and the intersection would be among these 4 options available, right? That is the first way. The second approach, as I said, inside the competition exam, because the 4 marks are important and the time is also important, We need to save time. So I know the domain, the values of x would lie between, when this fraction will always be lie between -1, 2 and 1. So I can pick the values from A, B, C, D from the options. I can put these values over here and I can check whether those values are satisfying the inequations or not. For example, let's say -infinity to 1 by 4, -1 by 4 to infinity, -1 by 3 to infinity, and -infinity to 1 by 3, right? So I can pick, let's say 1, right? So 1 is not here, 1 is over here in this interval, 1 is there in this interval, 1 is not there in the interval. So if 1 satisfies this inequation, then I will eliminate 2 of the option. So let's put x is equal to 1. So I am putting x is equal to 1 over here. 1 minus 4 plus 2 upon 1 plus 3, there is 4. This is 3. 3 minus 1 is -1 by 4. Right? So -1 by 4 lies between this interval. So for this, x is equal to 1 is a part of the domain. So if x is equal to 1 is a part of the domain, I know A cannot be the answer and D cannot be the answer, because I need 1. Now I am left with these two, right? So -1 by 3, -1 by 4. What is the difference between these two? I have a close bracket at -1 by 4. This is -1 by 3. So I can take any value that lies between -1 by 4 and -1 by 3, and I can put that value over here. If that fraction comes between -1, 2 and 1, I'll get my answer. Otherwise the other option would be the answer. So you can put the values of x lying between -1 by 3 and 1 by 4 and you can check. Otherwise we can solve these two inequations, right? So this question and the concept is pretty clear. So when you have to find out the domain, right, always apply the conditions of the domain and you can always check from the option. That saves time. Next question, we have a vector A, B and C. All of them written are in the form of t, right? There is some parameter t written such that alpha, beta, gamma belongs to R. This is alpha A plus beta B plus gamma C is equal to 0. This implies alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 0, right? This is the definition of linearly independent sets, right? In vectors, we have studied about the linear independent vectors. So this is something which defines that the vectors are linear independent. Or I can say if three vectors are coplanar, then alpha A plus beta B plus gamma C will be equal to 0 for some non-zero values of alpha, beta and gamma. But this says alpha, beta, gamma are only 0. They are not non-zero, which means these three vectors cannot be coplanar vectors. If they are not coplanar, which means their box product will not be equal to 0. So I know the box product of A, B and C, this cannot be equal to 0. So now the box product of the three vectors we can write in the form of determinant, right? The coefficient of A, that is 1 plus t, 1 minus t and k. Coefficient of B, 1 minus t, 1 plus t, 2. Coefficients of C, t minus t, 1, right? So now we have to solve this debt. So I will do C1 plus C2. Why C1 plus C2? Because I can see t minus t minus t, t, so t will cancel out. So if I add, I'll get 2, 2, 0, and this remains 1 minus t, 1, 1 plus t, 2 minus t1. This is not equal to 0. Now I'll take the difference of R1 minus R2, so I'll get one more 0, right? So I'm doing R1 is R1 minus R2. So this becomes 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus t minus of 1 minus of t would be minus 2t. This is minus 1. This is 2, 1 plus t, 2, 0, minus t, 1. This cannot be equal to 0. Now I can open this debt, right, according to the column 1. So this is plus 0, this is minus, so minus 2. This goes out, this goes out. So this into this is minus 2t, minus of plus t. So from here I can say this is minus 3t, so 6t cannot be equal to 0, so t cannot be equal to 0. So I can take the value of t everything but not 0. So my answer is option number C, that equal to R but not 0, right? So in case if you have any doubt, any concept that you want to learn from me, right, feel free to post it on the chat. I would be happy to help you out, right? So we'll continue with the next example. Once again, a question from the ITF. It says sum of all the solution of this equation. So I have to solve this in equation. right? So we'll use the basic strategy of inverse trigonometric function, convert all of them into one inverse trigonometry, and then take the cos or the sine or the tan, whatever inverse trigonometry it is. So I have cos inverse, I have cos inverse, I have sine inverse. So I'll convert this sine inverse into cos inverse so that we'll have everything in cos inverse x. So over here I can use the identity that it is equal to pi by 2 minus cos inverse x. This is equal to cos inverse 2x. Simplify this, so you get cos inverse x minus pi plus 2 cos inverse x is equal to cos inverse of 2x. Right, remember ITF is angles. This is 3 cos inverse x is equal to pi plus, I have taken pi on the other side. Now I'll take cos on both sides. So cos of 3 theta, right? This is cos of 3 theta. This is cos of pi plus alpha. So cos of 3 theta would be equal to 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Cos of pi plus theta is minus of cos of theta, right? That is equal to 2x. Right, so from here I'll get the equation 4x cube minus x is equal to 0. So I'll get x is equal to 0 plus minus 1 by 2. That's, these are the values of x. Now I have to find out the sum. Sum of all these solution will be equal to 0 because sum of all these three values is 0 and nothing else. Right. Yeah, good morning. Hey, hi Balaji, how are you? Good to see you over here. Right, let the operations are defined as star and a circle with a dot, right? Now, this is a question that came from mathematical reasoning, right? Mathematical reasoning is one of those easy topics that we have done in our workshops as well, right? In PYQs as well, right? So this topic is a very, easy peasy kind of a topic where the 4 marks are there on the plate to capture, right? So it is served to us. Nothing, no logic, no nothing is there. Now this relation is being defined as a tautology. What is a tautology? Tautology is when all the outcomes are true statements. None is a false statement. So we call that relation as a tautology. When it's a fallacy, right, or a contradiction, we call it when all the outcomes are false. So tautology means all the outcomes are true. Then the ordered pair of star and this symbol. So I don't know what these symbols will be. The symbols can be conjunction, the symbol can be union, intersection, whatever, right? So I have all the 4 cases over here. So how to proceed in such kind of example is that we pick the options, right? So we'll pick the option number A. If option number A, if I pick, right, I'll convert this into this and I'll convert this into AND condition and I'll make the truth table. If my final outcomes are T, all T, then A is my answer. Otherwise, I will move on to option number B. So inside the examination hall, right, as I say always, time is most important, right? So over here, we'll just try with the options, we'll find out the option and we'll take the answer and we'll get the 4 marks and we'll move to the next example, right? So we are doing in this particular session as well. The next question came from the vectors. Vector A has a magnitude 9. So I know that modulus A will be equal to 9, right? Now there is a vector B which is defined as x comma y vector xa plus yb vector is perpendicular, right? The moment we see the word perpendicular means the dot product will be 0 because whenever 2 vectors are perpendicular, their dot is 0. Or in short, whenever we have to find out the angles between 2 vectors, we will always consider the dot product. So I know if this vector and this vector are perpendicular, so their dot product will be equal to 0. So let's find out the dot product. So x and y are some scalars, right? This dot 6ya minus 18xb, this should be equal to 0. So now I'll split it. I'll take the dot product, so it becomes 6. X and y are scalar, so I'll get a dot a. Now this multiplied with this, so it becomes 6y square a dot b, right? Whether I write b dot a or a dot b, they are same. Now I'll multiply with 18, so minus 18 x square a dot b, and over here I'll get minus 18 xy b dot b is equal to 0. So I'll take 6xy minus 18x, that was A into B. So this is 6xy into A dot A, that is mod A whole square, minus 18xy, B dot B is mod B whole square. Then from these two I can take A dot B out, so I am left with 6y square minus 18x square, this is equal to 0. Right. Now from here I can take 6xy common, so I'll get mod A square, right, minus 3 mod B square plus 6y square minus 18x square into A dot B. This is equal to 0. Now I have this equation. Now see, over here it is written for every x comma y, which means this should hold true for any x and y. No matter what x and y I put, this has to be perpendicular to this, which means no matter what x and y I put, this equation should hold true, which means this equation is independent of x and y. Right? Are you getting my logic? So this equation is independent of x and y, so no matter what x and y I put, this should be equal to 0. This will hold true only if this fraction is 0 and this is 0. If these two are 0, no matter what x and y you put, right, this into 0 is 0, this into 0 is 0, so my answer will always be 0. So from here I got mod A square is equal to 3 mod B square and A dot B is equal to 0. I have to find modulus of A cross B. So modulus of A cross B whole square plus modulus of A dot B whole square is equal to mod of A square into mod of B square, right? I can use this result. Now in this result I know these values because mod A was given as 9, so I know the value of mod B as well. So mod A, mod B are known, this I know, so A cross B modulus I can get from this particular equation. Hence we can mark the option whatever comes from this result. So now we'll move on to the next example. Next example, triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Okay, so it's an equilateral triangle, so all the three sides will be equal. So I have, this is sin t minus cos t, B is cos t comma sin t, and C is what? C is A comma B. Orthocenter lies on a circle. So there is an orthocenter, but it's an equilateral triangle. So orthocenter, centroid, circumcenter, all will be the same point, right? So this centroid or orthocenter lies on a circle. So this lies on a circle, right, whose center is given as 1 comma 1 by 3. Right. So I know this orthocenter is the centroid. So centroid of this triangle I can calculate by x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. So A plus sin t plus cos t upon 3 comma sin t minus cos t plus b upon 3. These are the coordinates of the centroid, right? Now let's say the center is h comma k, right? So I am assuming center of the circle to be h comma k. So h comma k, right, this distance will be equal to radius, right? So I can say, or instead of this h comma k, right, don't take this h comma k, take this as h comma k, right? So now h becomes equal to this, k becomes equal to this. H comma k will lie on the circle. So h comma k, if I find out the equation in h comma k, I'll get the equation of the circle only. So now from here I can say h is equal to a plus sin plus cos upon 3 and k is equal to sin minus cos plus b upon 3. Right, for sin and cos I am using s and c. So from here you can get 3h minus a is equal to s plus c, and from here we'll get 3k minus b is equal to s minus c. From here find out the values of s and c. So if I add, I'll get 3h plus 3k minus a minus b upon 2, this is equal to s, and if you subtract you will get 3h minus a minus 3k plus b upon 2 is equal to c. This is sin theta and cos theta. If I square them and add them, I'll get 1. So square of this plus square of this, right? And if you add them, you'll get the equation of the circle. Once I have the equation of the circle, I can find out the center, and center will be equal to 1 comma 1 by 3. So from there, I can get the values of a square, a and b. So if a and b are known, we can find out the value of a square minus b square. The next condition, this is from the relation, right? And it says relation is an equivalence relation. So if it is equivalence, it has to be reflexive, symmetric and transitive, all three of them. So now we have a relation R given as 3x plus alpha y is a multiple of 7. So what is the relation? 3x plus ay is divisible by 7, right? Is a multiple of 7 means it's divisible by 7. So first of all, for reflexive, if it is reflexive, then what will happen, guys? 3x plus ax should be divisible by 7, which means 3 plus a into x should be divisible by 7. So from here I can say 3 plus a needs to be divisible by 7, right? Because for all values of x, so no matter if I put x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 18, 14, whatever x I put, this should be a multiple of 7. So 3 plus a needs to be a multiple of 7. Now, this is for the reflexive. For symmetric, symmetric says if 3x plus ay is divisible by 7, then this implies 3y plus ax should be divisible by 7, right? Okay. So we'll add these two equations, right? If you add, you will get 3 plus a into x plus 3 plus a into y divisible by 7. So I'll get 3 plus a into x plus y divisible by 7. Once again, I am getting the same condition, right? That 3 plus a needs to be divisible by 7. So if your function satisfies this condition, then the relation will be reflexive. It will also be symmetric. Let us also check for transitive behavior, because for equivalence, all three should hold true. So it is 3x plus ay is divisible by 7. So I am writing x1 y1, then 3y1 plus ax2 is divisible by 7. So from here I have to prove 3x1 plus ax2 is divisible by 7, right? So now ax2 is over here, so ax2 and 3x1 is over here, right? So 3x1, ax2, I can write ax2 as 7k1 minus 3y1, and because this is a multiple of 7, so I can say if this is a multiple of 7, this will be equal to some 7k1. So 7k1 minus 3y1 will be equal to ax2, right? And 3x1, I can write this as 7k2 minus ay1, right? Because this will be divisible by 7, so this will be equal to some multiple of 7. So I am taking 7k2. Now comprehend this, 7k1 plus 7k2, I am writing them together with a minus sign, y1 common, I am left with 3 and a. So this needs to be divisible by 7. Now observe, these two are already a multiple of 7, so I don't have to worry about these. This should be a multiple of 7. So once again, a plus 3 is a multiple of 7. So in short, if a plus 3 becomes a multiple of 7, this relation becomes an equivalence relation, because all these three will be satisfied, right? So we can write 3 plus a is divisible by 7, right? So 4 is the remainder when alpha is divided by 7. Yeah, this is the answer. Alpha and a are the same, right? Instead of alpha, we have used a over here. So a and alpha is the same. 4 is the remainder, right? When alpha is divided by 7. Next question came from probability and looks like set as well. Out of 60% females and 40% male candidates appeared in an exam, 60% candidates qualified. The number of females, okay, so I have 60% female, 40% male. The number of females qualifying the exam is twice the number of the male. Okay, so जिन्होंने qualify किया, let's say this is x, this will be 2x, right? And x and 2x, and x plus 2x has to be equal to what? 60% of the candidates, right? So if this is equal to 60%, which means x is equal to 20%. This is 20%, this is 40%. Right? Now what else is there? A candidate is randomly chosen from the qualified students. These are the qualified students, the 60%. The probability that the chosen candidate is a female, right? So 40% is my favorable and total 60% is my total sample space, because total sample space will not be 100%. Why? Because the randomly chosen is from the qualified candidates. Qualified means after the selection, those who are qualified. So we have 60% qualified. So 60% becomes your sample space. It's not 40, it's not complete 100%, only 60%. The remaining 40% will be discarded from the sample space. This is based on the conditional probability that we have studied. Next question, differential equation. So we have to differentiate this. So I have x over here with dy by dx. So we'll divide by sine square 2x. So what do we get? Dy by dx divide by sine square 2x. So you will get 8 plus 2 sine 4x upon sine square 2x. Y is equal to 2 into e की power minus 4x into 2 sine 2x plus cos 2x upon sine square 2x. This we can simplify. It becomes dy by dx plus 8 plus apply 2 sine a cos a. So I'll have 4 sine 2x cos 2x. So I'll have 4 cos 2x upon sine 2x. So 4 cot 2x. This into y. This over here I will divide by this. So 2 into e की power minus 4x. It becomes 2 upon sine 2x plus cos 2x upon sine square 2x. Right. Now observe this, dy by dx, a function of x into y is equal to function of x, the proper standard form for linear differential equation, right? So I have to find out the integrating factor over here. Integrating factor would be e, sorry, integration of 8 plus 4 cot 2x dx, right? Once I have the integrating factor, I will multiply the whole equation with the integrating factor and I will integrate. Left hand side will be equal to y into integrating factor. Right hand side would be a simplified function in the terms of x that we can easily integrate. Once we integrate it, we'll have the function, and over here I know when x is pi by 4, y is given as e raised to power minus pi. So with the help of this, we can find out the constant of integration. Once the constant of integration is known, then we'll find out the value of pi by 6. So we'll replace x by pi by 6 and we'll get the answer. Whichever is your answer, you can mark it. The next question came from the coordinate geometry, tangents at the point P and Q on the parabola, right? So this parabola is the shifted parabola. So this is P and Q. So I have drawn two tangents and P and Q. They intersect at a point R. The coordinates of R are given as 0, 1. The equation of the parabola is given as y square is equal to 2x minus 3, right? 1 second guys. Right, so I have the parabola y square is equal to 2x minus 3 over here. This is the chord of contact, right? So can I find the equation of the chord of contact? Yes, because I know the point R, right? From the point R, I have drawn two tangents and the point of tangency are joined over here. So this is the chord of contact. The equation of chord of contact will be given by capital T is equal to 0, right? What are the points? 0, 1. So I will apply capital T is equal to 0 for this parabola to get the equation of PQ. So what is the capital T is equal to 0 over here? Y1, that is y is equal to x plus x1 by 2 minus 3. So I'll get y is equal to x by 2 minus 3. So this is my equation PQ. Now what do I have to find out? I have to find out the orthocenter of this triangle PQR. I need the orthocenter. So orthocenter is the point of intersection of the altitudes. So I need to find out the altitudes, right? Now for the altitudes or for any other case, I have to find out the point P and Q, right? So for point P and Q, what will I do? I'll put this equation and solve it with the parabola, because P and Q are the intersection of the chord of contact with the parabola. So we'll solve these two equations and the solution will represent the point P and Q. So instead of y, I will write x by 2 minus 3. One sec, there was a 2 over here as well. So I missed out this 2, right? So 2 into x plus x1 by 2, this was y1, so this becomes y is equal to x minus 3, right? So now we'll put this y over here, so x minus 3 whole square will be equal to 2x minus 3. So once you solve this, x square plus 9 minus 6x is equal to 2x minus 3. So now we'll have x square minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. So I'll get x is equal to 2 and 6. Right, so these are the two values that we got. So x is known. So I know this is 6, this is 2. How do I find the y? You can put this value of x in the parabola or in the equation. So if I put in the equation, linear equation, right, it is easy to solve. 6 minus 3 is 3 and 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Right. So now I got all the 3 vertices. Let us find out the slope, right? Because for the orthocenter, I have to find out the slope of the lines. So we'll calculate the slope. So 1 minus of minus 1 is 2 upon minus 2. This is minus 1. Okay, we'll find the slope of this line as well. 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 0 is 6. So this is 1 by 3. I will find out the slope of this line as well, right? This is slope. So this slope is 3 minus of minus 1 is 4 upon 6 minus 2 is 4. This is 1. Now observe carefully. This is 1. This is minus 1. So product of these two slopes is minus 1. So if m1, m2 is minus 1, the angle is 90 degree, right? So this triangle that we have formed is a right angle triangle. And for a right angle triangle, we all know the orthocenter is basically the vertex where your right angle is. So for this triangle, this is your orthocenter and this is your answer. Next question, I have a circle and there is a P point on the circle. A line passes through the point C, which is the center of the circle, makes an angle pi by 4. Okay, we'll draw this figure. So I have a circle, there is a point P on the circle, there is a center C, right? A line passing to the C makes an angle 45 with the CP. So this angle is given as pi by 4. Intersect the circle at point Q and R. So this is Q, this is R. I have to find out the area of the triangle PQR. Okay. Angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees, so I know this one would be 90 degrees. So if I have to find out the area of the triangle PQR, a right angle triangle, all I have to find out is the perpendicular and the base. If these two values are known, we can find out the area of this triangle, right guys? So I need to find out the PQ and PR. So what do I have? I have the equation of the circle. So if I have the equation of the circle, I know the radius, I know the center. So let's find out the center quickly. Center is how much? 1 by 2 comma minus 1. How much is the radius? Radius is g square plus f square minus ka c, right? So 4 plus 2, 16, 16 by 4 is, radius is 2. So if radius is 2, I know CQ is 2 and RC is 2. So I need to find out this, right? And what else is given? Nothing else is given to us. Cool. So if this is 45, look, this is 2, this is 2. This is also 2, right? This is the exterior angle. Now these two angles will be equal. So sum of these two, these are equal and sum of these two is pi by 4. So I can say this is pi by 8, this is pi by 8, right? Okay. So if this is pi by 8 and this is 90, so I can use a sine rule for this particular triangle, right? What the sine rule says, PQ upon sine pi by 8 is equal to RQ upon sine 90. So from here I can get the value of PQ. PQ is RQ. How much is RQ? 4 sine pi by 8, right? So we got the value of PQ. Now I need to find out the value of PR. Now for PR, I need this angle. So if this is 90, this is pi by 8. So this has to be pi by 2 minus pi by 8. If I multiply by 4, this is equal to 3 pi by 8. So now once again I will use the sine rule, which says PR upon sine 3 pi by 8 is equal to 4 upon sine 90. So from here I'll get PR is equal to 4 sine 3 pi by 8. Now 3 pi by 8 is nothing but pi by 2 minus pi by 8. So I can write this as 4 cos pi by 8. So I got the PR, I got the PQ. What is my area? Area is half PQ into PR. So I'll have 1 by 2 into 4 sine pi by 8 into 4 cos pi by 8. So I'll have 8 sine pi by 8 cos pi by 8. Now sine A cos A, if I multiply by 2 and divide by 2, I can write this as sine 2A. So this becomes 4 sine pi by 4, and this is what my area is. So 4 sine pi by 4 is 2 root 2, right? The answer is option number B. Remainder, right? The same example came in the 27th of July, shift 1, right? Now I have to divide by 5. So what I'll do is 7, I'll take the power of 7, that is 7 square, right? This is equal to 1011. 3, I'll take 3 square, power is 1011. So this becomes 49, this becomes 9. 49 I can write as 50 minus 1, 1011, plus I can write this as 10 minus 1, power 10. Why I am taking multiple of 10? Because they are divisible by 5. Now using the binomial expansion, we can expand this. So every term will have 50 except the last term. So every term will be divisible by 5 except the last term. So I can write this as 5k1 last term, that is plus 1011c 1011 minus 1 raised to power 1011 plus 10k2 plus the last term 1011c 1011 minus 1 raised to power 1011. Sorry, this is 50. So this is 50k1 plus this is 1, this is minus 1 plus 10k2 minus 1. So I'll have 50k1 plus 10k2 minus 2. So if I divide this by 5, this gives me a remainder 0, this gives me a remainder 0 because they are multiple of 5. This gives me a remainder minus 2. So a remainder of minus 2 is equivalent to remainder of plus 3. So my answer is option number C. Next question, a matrix is given and B0 matrix is given as A ki power 49, A ki power 98, Bn is given as adjoint of Bn minus 1. I have to find out the value of det of B4. So first of all, I need to find out B4. For B, I have to find out this. Now, the higher powers, which means there has to be some pattern, some logic in the higher powers of A. So over here, I'll first find out A square. So what is A square? Because I need to understand the pattern. Right. Yeah, so A square is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Right. Or one more thing, instead of finding out the A square, we can directly do this problem, right? So why to waste time on A square? Right. I'll give you a trick. Observe over here. This is your A, right? So this is 1, this is 1 over here, this is 1 over here, right? It looks like identity function, but the ones are, are not at their right places. So what I'll do is, I'll take this, I'll replace these two. So if I replace these two, I'll get 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and I'll have a minus sign, right? Because at the end, I have to find the det, right? Now I will interchange these two. So I'll have one more minus outside. So minus minus becomes 1. So if this comes in the row 2, right? उसने मुझे A ही दिया और कुछ नहीं दिया. A is I, right? So I raised to power anything is I raised to power anything is I. So what is B0? B0 is I plus 2I. There is 3I, right? So I have to find the det of B4. Now what is B4 over here? B4 is adjoint of B3, and what is B3? Adjoint of B2. So I can write adjoint of B0, right? So if I have to find the det of this, so det of B4 will be equal to B0 n minus 1 whole raised to power 4. What is n? N is the order is 3. So I can say B0 n minus 1 is 2 raised to power 4 is 16. So find out the value of det of B0 and raised to power 16 is your answer. So we can solve this particular question using this particular trick. Now the next question came from the complex number. This is a circle, right? Z1 minus 3 modulus is equal to half. So center is 3 comma 0 and radius is 1 by 2. So this will be a circle and Z1 is a point that lies on the circle. Now what is this curve? This curve is not the standard one, right? So for this, first we have to find out what this curve will represent. So we'll use the Brahmastra of complex number, put Z2 is equal to x plus iota y. Right, so we'll put Z2 is equal to x plus iota y because I need to find out the locus of this particular curve. So I will have x plus iota y minus, this is under root of x plus 1 whole square plus y square modulus. This is how much? X plus iota y plus under root of x minus 1 whole square plus y square. Now this modulus will take the square. So the modulus of this would be x minus under root of x plus 1 whole square plus y square, this whole square plus y square, right? Yeah. And over here, I'll get x plus under root of x minus 1 whole square plus y square whole square plus y square. So y square will get cancelled. This will be equal to that. So if I take this will be cancelled. If I take this on this side, I'll have, or we'll take the square root, right? Directly take the square root. This is equal to plus minus. Right? So once I solve the plus 1 and once I solve the minus 1. So from here we'll get the two different locus, right? The locus of this particular curve. So we'll plot both these locus, right? So Z1 is basically a circle over here with a center 3 comma 0 and radius is equal to half. So Z1 is moving on this particular circle, right? So if you solve these two equations, right, you will get x belongs to minus 1 to 1, that is your first solution. The other solution you will get x is equal to 0, right? Which means that your curve Z2 will lie either on this imaginary axis or will lie between 1 to minus 1. So this is your locus of Z2. Now the least value is, this is the distance between Z1 and Z2. So least value would be this, right? When Z2 is over here, Z1 is over here. So this distance is how much? 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 minus half. That is your answer, the least value of Z2 minus Z1. The next question is an interesting question, right? It has merged 2D into 3D. This was a circle in 2D, right? X square plus y square is equal to 1 and z comma 0. So basically any point on this particular circle, the coordinates will be given by sine theta, cos theta, comma 0, right? And this is a plane. So I have this point and I have a plane given. So I have dropped a perpendicular from this particular point and we have to find out the foot of the perpendicular locus. So we have to find out the locus of this point. Let's say this point is alpha, beta, gamma, right? So we have to find out the coordinates of this alpha, beta, gamma. So I can use the formula for the foot of perpendicular. Foot of perpendicular, it says x minus x1 upon a is equal to y minus y1 upon b is equal to z minus z1 upon c is equal to minus a x1 plus b y1 plus c z1 plus d upon one sec. Okay. Right. So no worries. We had the point. Right. So we have the point sine theta, comma cos theta, comma 0. Right. We'll quickly draw it. There was a plane. So we had this point as alpha, beta, gamma. Right. So we were using the formula for the foot of the perpendicular. The formula for foot of the perpendicular is x minus x1 upon a is equal to y minus y1 upon b is equal to z minus z1 upon c is equal to minus times ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 plus d upon a square plus b square plus c square, right? So what is x, x1, y, y1, z, z1? X, y and z are your foot of the perpendicular. So this is x, y and z. x1, y1, z1 is this point. A, B, C are your coefficient of your plane, A, B, C, right? So using this formula, I can get the values of alpha, beta and gamma in the terms of sine and cos, right? Because sine and cos would be there in x1, y1, z1. So if alpha, beta, gamma are in the sine and cos, we can eliminate sine and cos and we'll get the locus in the terms of alpha, beta, gamma. Replace alpha, beta, gamma by x, y and z, you will get the equation of the curve, right? So that is how we can solve this particular example. Now instead of this minus, if I have minus 2, then I will have the image of this particular point. So foot of the perpendicular is at a distance x, image is at a distance 2x. So if you replace minus by minus 2, you will get the mirror image of this particular point as well. What is the minimum value of this function? Observe, x is larger than 0, which means they are positive, right? So I can split fx as 5x square by 2. So x square by 2 plus x square by 2. 5 times I will write x square by 2. Similarly, I will split into two parts. Alpha upon 2x raised to power 5 plus alpha upon 2x raised to power 5. So if I simplify, I'll get the same function. Now observe, all of them are positive, right? So I can apply AMGM, which means sum of all these 5 divided by 7, because there are 7 terms, is larger than equal to 7th root of their product. So if you multiply, see, x square, x square, x square, x square, x raised to power 10, x raised to power 10, x will cancel out and you are left with only alpha square upon 2 raised to power 7. So from here, now this expression is basically your fx, right? Right, and this fx is larger than equal to 7 goes that side, 7 into alpha raised to power 2 by 7 upon 2 raised to power 7, 7th root is 2. So fx is larger than equal to this value. So this is the minimum value of fx, but the question says minimum is 14. So I know 7 into alpha raised to power 2 by 7 by 2 will be equal to 14. So from here we can say alpha raised to power 2 by 7 is equal to 2 square. So alpha is 2 raised to power 2 into 7 by 2, and that is 2 raised to power 7. So the value of alpha is 2 raised to power 7, and that is what we need to find out. So 2 raised to power 7 would be how much? 2 raised to power 5 is 32, 6 is 64 and 7 is 128. So the option number C is the correct answer. Next question, alpha, beta, gamma are 3 positive real numbers. The function is given as this, g is given as g of fx is equal to x, a1, a2 are in AP, right? So we have to find out f of g of something, right? Cool, the mean is 0. So this question is a very good question, right? It has involved functions, AP, GP, then arithmetic mean, then composite function and sigma as well. So from here, we'll observe g of fx is x, right? Okay, so fx is x and alpha, beta. Okay, so alpha, beta, gamma are 3 positive real numbers which are defined as this. Cool. Right, so over here, if I put alpha is equal to 0 and beta is equal to 0, so I'll get fx is equal to gamma x, right? And g of fx is coming down as x, so I can assume that gx will be equal to some x by gamma, right? Because if I put fx, then I'll put gamma x and I'll get the x, right? So gx is x by gamma and fx is gamma x. So these two functions will satisfy this equation, right? Now a1, a2, an are the AP such that their mean is 0, right? If mean is 0, I can say sigma ai will be equal to 0. Then only the mean is 0. So if sigma ai is equal to 0, right? Now over here, I'll find out this f of g of 1 by n into f of a1 plus f of a2 and so on till f of an. This is what we have to find out. Now what is f of x? F of x is gamma x, right? So this becomes 1 by n gamma a1 plus gamma a2 and so on till gamma an. Now if I take gamma common, I'll have a1 plus an. So I'll have f of g 1 by n into gamma, then I'll have sigma ai. But sigma ai was 0, right? Because the mean was 0. So this is 0. 0 into anything will always be 0. So I'm left with f of g 0. Now what is g0? If I put x is equal to 0, g0 is also 0. So I'll get this is equal to f0, right? What is f0? If I put 0, f0 is also 0. So my answer is option number A, that is 0. So we move on to the next example. Our example from the sequence in series, A1 is given, A2 is given, and some relation between A1 and A2 is An and An plus 1, An plus 2 is given. So first we'll simplify this one, right? So let's cross multiply this. So I'll get An plus 2 into An plus 1. This is equal to 2 plus An into An plus 1. So An plus 2 into An plus 1 minus An into An plus 1 is equal to 2. Right, so we'll use this afterwards. Now what is given to us? We have this, right? A1 plus 1 by a1. So let's write TR for this. What is the TR for or Tn for this? Tn would be An minus 1 upon An plus 1 upon An plus 2. Sorry, n plus 1, n plus 2. Yeah. This is my Tn. Okay, so An minus An. I'll replace An right from here. I have An. So An will be this minus twice of this. So An plus 2 minus twice of An plus 1. This is plus, right? This is plus. Okay, and I have An plus 2. So from here, this by this becomes 1 minus 2 plus 1 becomes minus. So I'll have minus 1 upon An plus 1 into An plus 2. Right? This is what we got Tn. Now An plus 1 into An plus 2 is over here. N plus 1, N plus 2. So I can write this as 1 minus 1 upon 2 plus An into An plus 1. Right? So now we'll simplify this. Okay? This is my Tn. So now all I have to do is this left hand side is the product of all the terms. So product of, so instead of sigma we'll use the product of Tn where n goes from 1 to 30. This is equal to 2 raised to power alpha into 61C31. Right? So all I have to do is just replace this Tn over here, write the product, right? Your terms will be simplified, and from this you can compare these values and you can get the value of alpha. And once alpha is known, we can mark whichever option is the correct answer. So now we'll move to the next one. We have to find the minimum value. So whenever minimum value is there, we have to differentiate, right? The application of derivative. So I'll differentiate this particular equation. So just differentiate this, you will get f dash x is equal to, okay, so first of all, there's a x inside. The function is in the form of t. So e raised to power x will be a constant, right? So you can take e raised to power x out and you can write this as e raised to power minus t, right? And now I can differentiate this using the product rule. So derivative of e raised to power x is e raised to power x. I'll write the other function as it is, plus I'll write the e raised to power x and the product of this. So x comes in place of t into derivative of x, that is 1. Now the derivative of this, once again I have a product rule, e raised to power x into 2x minus 1 minus e raised to power x into x square minus x plus 1. Right? Now this is my f dash x. Now this expression I can find out from this and I can replace this as f dash x is equal to e raised to power x into, right, or I can use the complete term e raised to power x into this. And so this complete term is this complete term. So I can replace this as fx plus x square minus x plus 1 into e raised to power x. Now this is plus f dash x minus e raised to power x into 2x minus 1 minus e raised to power x into x square minus x plus 1. Now see, x square minus x plus 1 into e raised to power x square minus x plus 1 into e raised to power x, opposite sign, they will cancel out. F dash x will get cancelled out. So all I am left with is fx, and if you take this on that side, you will have e raised to power x into 2x minus 1. So I have the function, right? So if I have the function, now I can play around with this function, right? Now there is no integral, there is no derivative, fx is known to us. We have to find the minimum value. So now minimum value for this, now we'll differentiate this. We'll find f dash x from here. That will be e raised to power x into 2 plus e raised to power x into 2x minus 1. So this is e raised to power x into 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to minus half. I am having the derivative to be 0. So x is equal to minus half, you put x is equal to minus half over here, and you can find out the minimum value for this function dy by dx. Next question, I have a set of passwords which are 6 to 8 characters, where each character is either in alphabets or a number with the repetition allowed. Okay, fine, so repetition is allowed. Number of password in the set S where at least one character is from the number. So all I have to find out the number of total passwords where one of them is a number, right? So first we'll find out the total 6 characters long password. So 6 character long password is, I have 10 options available, right? There will be 6 places. So this can be filled in 10 ways, 10 ways, 10 ways, 10 ways, 10 ways and 10 ways. So total are 10 raised to power 6. But in this total, I'll get those passwords as well where there is no number use. So no number use means all of them are alphabet. So I'll find out how many are there where all the are alphabets. So alphabets are 5. So every place can be filled in 5 ways. So I'll have 5 raised to power 6. So if I take the difference, I would be left with only those where one of the character is a number. So this is my answer for 6 character. Now same with the 7. So if I take 7 instead of 6, I'll have the 7, right? So my cases would be total 6 characters are this, 7 characters passwords are this, 8 characters password are this, right? If the number of passwords is, now this is equal to alpha into 5 raised to power 6. So all you have to do is simplify your left hand side and equate it to 5 raised to power 6 or divide by 5 raised to power 6 and calculate the value of alpha. So if I divide by 5 raised to power 6, alpha become equal to what? 2 raised to power 6 minus 1, right? This is 5 raised to power 6. So 2 raised to power 6 minus 5, 5 raised to power 6. So 10 square into 2 raised to power 6 minus 5 square. This is the value of alpha. So simplify these value and you'll get the value of alpha. And that is what is being asked, right? Alpha is equal to what? Next question, I have 2 points in 3-dimensional geometry, the vertices of the rhombus. Now observe carefully, it is not PQRS, it is PRQS. So this is P, this is R, this is Q, this is S. So I know the point P, minus 2 comma minus 1 comma 1. I know the point Q, 56 by 17, 43 by 17, 111 by 17, right? And ratio of the diagonal RS. So I know the dr of this, alpha minus 1 beta, right? So I can find the dr of PQ. Dr of PQ would be what? 56 by 17 plus 2, 43 by 17 plus 1, 111 by 17 minus 1. So these are the dr of PQ. Now we know the diagonals of the perpendicular will be, diagonals of the rhombus will be perpendicular. So their dot product is 0. So alpha into 56 plus 2 by 17 plus minus 1 into 43 by 17 plus 1 plus beta 111 by 17 minus 1. This is equal to 0. So from here I'll get one equation in alpha and beta, right? Now, I also know that alpha and beta are integers, right, of minimum absolute value. So, alpha and beta are the integers over here. So, we can simplify this, and from there we can find out the values of integral values of alpha and beta. How do we find the integral values of alpha and beta? You will simplify this. How do we simplify this? Right, you divide this, right, on the terms, right. You divide this by expression, whatever this value is. So, you will get alpha into 56 plus 17 into 2, that 34, that is 90 upon 17, right. So, I am simplifying first of all. This is 17, so 50, 60. So, minus 60 by 17 plus beta is how much? You subtract minus 17. So, beta is 11 and 6. So, 94 by 17, this is equal to 0. So, I will get alpha 90 minus 60 plus 94 beta, this is equal to 0. So, from here you can write the value of beta. Beta is what? 60 minus 90 alpha upon 94, right. So, if beta needs to be an integer, right, and alpha needs to be an integer, so this p by q should be divisible, right. We should have an integral value. So, 60 minus 90 alpha should be divisible by 94. So, we can put the values of alpha such that 60 minus 90 alpha is a multiple of 94. Once I got the value of alpha, the smallest value, I have the alpha, I will have the beta. So, I will find out their sum of their squares. Next is a function is given as f0 is 3 and f1 is 5. So, a function is defined between 0, 1. So, this is 0, this is 1. So, at 0 this function is over here 0, 3, and at 1 this is at 5. So, this is at over here 1, 5. So, I know this function is passing through these 2 points. Now, there is a line y is equal to 2x plus 3. Now, if I put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3. So, this line is passing from this point. And if I put x is equal to 1, y is 5. So, this line is passing through this point as well. So, my line is like this, passing through these 2 points. Now, it says the line intersect the graph of f at only 2 points in 0, 1 open bracket. These 2 intersections are in close bracket 0, 1. It says open bracket 0, 1 means in between 0, 1. So, no matter how I draw the graph will pass through this, the graph will pass through this, and it should intersect this line at 2 distinct points. So, let us say my graph would be like this, intersecting at 2 points. These are the 2 points, right, the intersection. Now, for these 2 points my graph turned 3 times, right. If my graph turned 3 times, which means the dy by dx is equal to 0 at these 3 points. Let us say A, this is some B, this is some C, this is some D, this is some E, right, and this is some F, this is some G. Now, I have to find out the least number of points for which f double derivative is 0, right. So, we will use the Rolle's theorem over here, and the Rolle's theorem says if function is continuous and differentiable and f is equal to fb, then there will be at least one point where f dash x is equal to 0. So, now dy by dx is 0 at A, dy by dx is 0 at C. So, between A and C, dy by dx is a continuous function, differentiable function, and the fa and fc are also same. The dy by dx are 0, which means the derivative of this function will be 0 at least 1 in A and C. The derivative is f double dash x. So, once I will have f double dash x 0 over here between A and C, once I will have double dash x 0 between C and E, right. So, I have one time over here, one time over here. In between A and C and between C and E, where it will be I have no idea, but it will be there between A and C. That is what the Rolle's theorem says. So, now we can move on, because this is what we have to find, the least number of points where double derivative is 0. Now, this integral, right. Okay, so all I have to do is integrate this, right. So, first of all, I can see under root of 1 plus x square. So, I will put 1 plus x square is equal to some t square. So, I will get x dx is equal to t dt. So, this integral will be converted to 15. 1x will be gone in dx. So, I will have t, and then I will have x square. So, I will have t square minus 1 dt. Then in the denominator, I'll have 1 plus x square is t square, and this is t square, that is t cube. Right, so I'll take t square out, so I'll have 15 t square minus 1 dt. One plus t square, right? So now over here I can put 1 plus t square is equal to some z square, right? Or you can try to split it and use the formula, right? So I am not splitting it. I am directly putting 1 plus t square is equal to z square. So from here I get t dt is equal to z dz. So this integral becomes 15 z square minus 2 into z dz upon this is z. So z will get out with z. You will have integral of 15 z square minus 2 dz. Now this is integrable. Once you integrate this, right, then you can substitute your limits. These limits are for your t. So from here, these limits are for your x. So from here you can get the limits for t. Once you get the limits for t, you can get the limits for z from this particular expression. Or in this expression, the integral, you will have the integration in the form of z. Replace z square as 1 plus t square. So you will have your answer in the form of t. Then replace t by t square by 1 plus x square, so your answer would be in the terms of x. Then you can put the limits from 0 to root 3. You will have your answer and you can compare and get the values of alpha and beta. The next example, a and b are given. Which of the following satisfy this? So such kind of example, right, standard questions, we know how to solve them. We'll find out the value of a plus b. We will add these two, so we'll get a plus b. We'll square it, so we'll get the value of a plus b whole square. Now a square is the square of this matrix. Add this matrix 2, 2, 2, 2, and then add these two values and compare. So you will get the values of alpha and beta. So alpha 1 would be the value of alpha. Similarly, I will use the equation over here, a plus b whole square is equal to b square, and from here I'll get the value of alpha 2. Once alpha 1 and alpha 2 are known, then we can easily find out the relation, right? So in this particular question, standard question, so we don't have to get into the solving of this particular example. Now next one, I have a fx x minus p whole square minus q, a1, a2, a3, a4 are in the AP. Once again, mean is given and the common difference is given as positive. So if modulus of FAI is equal to 500, so if modulus of FAI, what is FAI? Instead of x, I can put AI. So I can write f of AI minus p whole square minus q, right? This will be equal to 500, right? So first of all, I can square this. I can open the modulus AI. AI can be 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 terms, right? So I can write this as a1 minus p whole square minus q is equal to a2 minus p whole square minus q, and so on till a4 minus p whole square minus q. This is equal to 500. Right, now let's say the a1, a2, a3, a4 are the 4 terms with a mean p and with a positive common difference. So this is a1, a2, a3, a4, right? So there is a common difference d, there is a common difference d, there is a common difference d. And the arithmetic mean is given as p. So arithmetic mean will lie exactly in between over here, right? So now a1 minus p will be how much? D plus d by 2. So I can write this as 3d by 2 minus p whole square minus q. a2 minus p is d by 2. And so on. This is equal to 500, right? Now what are p and q? I have this relation over here. Mean is p, right? So what is mean? Mean is p, right? So 3d minus p minus q whole square. Cool, right? So I can equate these two relations. I'll get one equation from here. I can equate these two relations. I'll get the other equation from here. So I'll get the two equations over here, and using these two equations, I have to find out the absolute difference between the roots. Now what are the roots of fx? X minus p whole square is equal to q. So from here we can say x minus p whole square is equal to plus minus root q. So x is equal to p plus minus root q. So if I take the absolute difference between the two roots, my answer is 2 root q. Right? So all I have to find out is the value of 2 root q. I have these equations, I can solve them, I can get the value of q from here. I'll put the value of q from q here. 2 root q would be my final answer. So let's move on to the next one. For the hyperbola, once again I have a rectangular hyperbola, so I know the E will be equal to root 2. I have an ellipse. The eccentricity for the ellipse will be given by under root of 1 plus b square by a square. Let the eccentricity of the E, hyperbola, is the reciprocal of the eccentricity of the H. Okay, so this is ellipse, this is hyperbola. So EE, that is under root of 1 plus b square by a square, this will be equal to 1 by root 2. So I'll get the relation between A and B. So one relation is done. I need another relation. This is a common tangent to the ellipse and hyperbola. So if this is a tangent to the ellipse, then I know K will be equal to under root of A square, M square is 5 by 2 plus B square. And if this is a tangent to the hyperbola as well, then K will also be equal to under root of A square and B square. A square and B square are 1. So A square into M square minus B square. So if I observe from here, I get another relation in A and B. I have one relation in A and B. I can solve these two, I'll get the values of A and B. If A and B are known, I know the value of K. And in this particular question, I have to find out the values of only A and B, right? So 4A square plus B square is my answer. I don't have to find out the value of K. Solve these two, you'll get the values of A and B, and answer is 4 times A square plus B square. Next question, these terms are in GP. The first term is 30 and the common ratio is 1 by 2. So in this particular sequence, I know everything, right? I know the term, the first term, I know the common ratio, so I can write down all the terms. Our new data is constructed by replacing xi by xi minus I whole square, and I have to find out the mean of the new data. Okay, so first of all, I'll try to simplify this. Xi minus I whole square, this would be what? Xi whole square plus I whole square minus 2i xi, right? So if I find out the sigma for this, I can find out the mean. Now sigma xi whole square. Now observe over here, I know all the terms, right? So sigma xi whole square would be what? 3 square plus 3 into half whole square plus 3 into half square whole square and so on. So this will be a GP, so I can find out this sum plus I square. I square is 1 square plus 2 square and so on till 20 square. So I can use the formula for some of the unnatural numbers, minus 2. Sigma I xi would be what? Xi is 3 plus 2 into 3 into 1 by 2 plus 3 into 1 by 2 whole square and so on. So this is GP, this is the standard formula, this is the AGP. So we can find out the sum of all these three. Once I know the sum of all these three, I have to find the mean. So I'll divide by this by the number of terms. Number of terms are 20. So if you divide this by 20, you will get your answer. Next is a question from the limit. So if you put x tending to 0, this is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 1, this is 0 and this is 1, and if you write 0 over here and if you simplify, this is 1, right? Yeah, this is 1 and this will be infinity. So this is basically the form of 1 raised to power infinity, nothing else. So 1 raised to power infinity, let's say this is fx and this is gx. So 1 raised to power infinity form says we'll convert this into e raised to the power limit x tending to 0 fx minus 1 into gx. So all I have to do is use this particular formula over here. This is your fx, so I'll write fx minus 1 into 100 by x. This will be converted into 0 by 0 form, and once you have 0 by 0 form, I can use the L'Hopital rule to find out the limit and the question will be done. So all you need to observe in this particular example is it looks scary, but when you put x is equal to 0, this will be converted into 1, this will be converted into infinity. So this is simple 1 raised to power infinity form. Now the next question, the sum of real values of x for which this equation are whole true, right? Either you can cross multiply, but if you cross multiply, it will consume time. Slightly observe. Form the denominator in the numerator. So I have 3x square, right? So I'll write this as x square plus 3x plus 10 plus how much is left? 2x square. I need minus 9. So this is plus. So I have minus 12x. I have plus 7. This is x square plus 3x plus 10. Now what is right hand side? I'll have 3x square plus 5x plus 12. Make the numerator in the, make the denominator in the numerator 3x square. So you'll have 2x square minus 12x plus 7 upon 3x square plus 5x plus 12. Right? So if I split, this upon this becomes 1, this upon this becomes 1. So this 1 will be cancelled out. Now I am left with this upon this upon this. Both the terms are same. So you can take 2x square minus 12x plus 7 common, and you guys are left with 1 upon x square plus 3x plus 10 minus 1 upon 3x square plus 5x plus 12. So from here I can write 2x square minus 12x plus 7 is equal to 0, or x square plus 3x plus 10 is equal to 3x square minus 5x plus 12. So if I simplify, I'll get a quadratic from here. So one quadratic from here and one quadratic from here. So I can solve these two quadratic and find out the roots. Once the roots are known, I have to find out the sum of all the roots. So this technique is really important to find out the answer for such questions, because if I cross multiply, it will consume time. I'll get the answer at the end, but it will consume time. This is a nice technique through which we can find out the answer. And with this, we have come to the end of this wonderful session where we talked about the concepts, approaches, solution, everything that is related to this particular session of 28th July. So now onwards, right, now after you can enjoy the physics session and chemistry session with the experts of Infinity Learn over here. Till then, enjoy your day and take care.
Okay, so we are going to discuss about the paper of 28th July, okay, and in that we are basically going to discuss about the, just a minute. Okay, so let's start the discussion of this paper which took place on 28th of July, and we were discussing about basically Shift-1, okay, that is a morning shift. तो चलो पहले क्वेश्चन की तरफ जाते हैं. पहला क्वेश्चन जो है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग रिलेशन इज नॉट करेक्ट पूछा गया है. ठीक है, तो आपको याद होगा ये तो फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का स्टेटमेंट ही है. ठीक है, फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स की जो भी एनर्जी चेंज हो रहा है, चाहे वो हीट हो चाहे वर्क डन हो, वो इंटरनल एनर्जी के चेंज में जाता है. दूसरा, एस टोटल किसी भी सिस्टम का ग्रेटर देन 0 होना चाहिए या इक्वल टू 0 होना चाहिए, तभी प्रोसेस स्पॉन्टेनियस होता है. ठीक है, फिर तीसरा अगर आप देखोगे तो डेल्टा जी इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा एच माइनस टी डेल्टा एस, ये भी स्टेटमेंट सही है. ये वाला स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है. अब ये स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट कैसे था, अगर आप देखोगे तो स्टेटमेंट होता क्या है, स्टेटमेंट होता है डेल्टा एच इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा यू प्लस पी डी वी. ठीक है, तो ये आपका स्टेटमेंट जो होता है पी डेल्टा वी ये होता है. बाय डेफिनेशन आपको पता है कि एच की जो डेफिनेशन होती है वो यू प्लस पी बी होती है. अब आप इसको अगर आप डिफ्रेंशिएट करोगे तो ये बन जाएगा क्या, डी एच इज इक्वल टू डी यू प्लस पी डी वी, ये आपके सामने बनकर आ जाएगा. ठीक है, सो दिस शुड बी योर आंसर. ठीक है, तो ये स्टेटमेंट आपका गलत है. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, और यहाँ पर कुछ रिएक्शंस दी गई हैं और ये बताना है कि ये किसकी रिएक्शंस को रिप्रेजेंट करती हैं एक्चुअली. ठीक है, तो अगर आप देखोगे तो बहुत सिंपल है. सबसे पहला जो ऑप्शन मुझे इसमें नजर आ गया था वो ये था, फ्यूल सेल नजर आ गया होगा. ठीक है, कि यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, बेसिकली ये आप बर्न कर रहे हो. ठीक है, H2 को बर्न कर रहे हो H2O बनाने के लिए. तो ये बेसिकली रिएक्शन किसकी बेटा, यहाँ पर फ्यूल सेल की है. तो ये तो यहाँ पर डायरेक्ट आंसर आ जाता है. ठीक है, इसके बाद अगर आप यहाँ पर देखोगे तो ये जो रिएक्शन है आपको नजर आ रही होगी, ये बेसिकली सेकेंडरी बैटरीज की रिएक्शन है. ठीक है, और ये जो है ना, ये बेसिकली प्राइमरी बैटरीज होती हैं, जो जिंक मरकरी बैटरीज होती हैं, जो वॉचेस में यूज की जाती हैं. ठीक है, तो ये बेसिकली आपका प्राइमरी बैटरी से मैच कर रहा है. ठीक है, सो दिस शुड बी द प्राइमरी बैटरी. ठीक है, तो ये आपका प्राइमरी बैटरी से मैच कर गया. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर आप देखोगे तो ये जो रिएक्शन है, ठीक है, जो ये वाली रिएक्शन है बेसिकली, अब आप ऑप्शन वैसे भी शायद मैच कर जाते हैं, यहीं तक आपको करना होता है, ये 2 ऑप्शन पिक करते ही सब कुछ मैच करने लग जाता है, शायद 1 और 3 वाला शायद एक ही ऑप्शन होता है इसमें, ठीक है। अब ये जो रिएक्शन आपको दी गई है ना, ये डिस्चार्जिंग की रिएक्शन है, ठीक है, कैडमियम इज गेटिंग कंज्यूम, तो ये डिस्चार्जिंग ऑफ सेकेंडरी सेल है, और ये अगर आप देखोगे तो ये चार्जिंग ऑफ सेकेंडरी सेल है, ठीक है। तो इस तरीके से आपको ये क्वेश्चन भी हो जाएगा, तो ये मैच करेगा 4th के साथ और ये मैच कर जाएगा आपका 2nd के साथ, ठीक है, तो ये आपका आंसर हो जाएगा, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। यहां पे आपको कुछ रिएक्शंस दी गई हैं और इनके पर्टिकुलर कैटलिस्ट कौन से यूज होते हैं वो आपको मार्क करना है, ठीक है। तो ये हैवर प्रोसेस है, इसमें फाइनली डिवाइडेड आयरन पार्टिकल्स लेने पड़ते हैं, तो यहां पर तो Fe सॉलिड हो जाएगा। ये ग्लूकोज है जो एसिडिक मीडियम में होता है, तो यहाँ पर आप एसिड ले सकते हो कोई भी, ठीक है। इसमें आपको प्लैटिनम यूज करना पड़ता है एट ए कैटलिस्ट फॉर द ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ NH3 टू कन्वर्ट इनटू NO गैस, ठीक है। ये HNO3 के प्रोसेस में यूज होता है, HNO3 के प्रोडक्शन में यूज होता है, ओस्टोबाल्ट प्रोसेस में, और ये हैबर्स प्रोसेस हो है। और ये लास्ट वाला जो है इसमें आपको NO गैस रखनी पड़ती है, एक्चुअली आपको NO गैस रखनी पड़ती है टू कन्वर्ट द SO2 ऑक्सीडाइजेस इनटू द SO3, और उसके बाद इसको H2SO4 में मिक्स करके वॉल्यूम बनाते हैं, फिर वॉल्यूम को जब वाटर में डालते हैं तो बेसिकली वो किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है बेटा, H2SO4 में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, ठीक है। तो ये इसके मैच द कॉलम है, आप बाकी ऑप्शंस मैच करा के देख लीजिएगा, ठीक है। मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग पेयर इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एंथैल्पी ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट एलिमेंट आर नियरली सेम और आइडेंटिकल, ठीक है। तो देखो इसमें क्या है कि अगर आप रुबिडियम और सीजियम की वैल्यूज को देखोगे ना, तो ये अप्रॉक्सीमेटली सेम होता है, ठीक है, और ये अप्रॉक्सीमेटली सेम होता है। इनमें जो फर्क आता है बहुत छोटा सा फर्क होता है, 49 ऐसा कुछ होता है किलो कैलोरी में, तो वो बहुत छोटा सा चेंज होता है, ठीक है, -49 के आसपास की वैल्यू होती है दोनों में, ठीक है। तो ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल है अगर आप देखोगे, और इसका रीजन भी आपको पता ही है कि जब आप लिथियम से लेकर ऐसे आप जब मूव करते हो, लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, रुबिडियम एंड देन द सीजियम, ठीक है, तो एक्चुअली होता क्या है, यहां से यहां तक को भी डी इलेक्ट्रॉन और एफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इन्वॉल्व नहीं होते, बट यहां पे जैसे ही आप आते हो यहां पर डी एंड एफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आ जाते हैं जिनकी पुअर शिल्डिंग होती है, और पुअर शिल्डिंग की वजह से जो इनकी प्रॉपर्टीज है ना वो ऑलमोस्ट बराबर होने लग जाती हैं, क्योंकि इनका साइजेस ऑलमोस्ट सेम होने लग जाते हैं, ठीक है। दो देयर इज द चेंजेस इन द साइज, बट इतना ज्यादा नहीं होता जितना इन तीनों में सिग्निफिकेंट इंक्रीज ऑफ साइज देखने को मिलता है। तो ये हो गया पहला वाला, ठीक है। फिर सोडियम पोटेशियम में नहीं होगा, सोडियम पोटेशियम में आप पूरा का पूरा आप आइडेंटिफाई कर पाओगे कि सेल का साइज बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ता है, ठीक है, तो ये तो आंसर नहीं है। ये दोनों अगर आप देखोगे तो इनर्ट गैसेस हैं, और इनर्ट गैसेस के लिए बेसिकली जो आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी होती है वो लगभग 0 ही मान के चलते हैं, बट बहुत हाई होती है, बहुत हाई होती है, ठीक है। तो ये दोनों के लिए अबोव 2000 के आसपास होती है ये, ठीक है, अबोव 2000 किलो कैलोरी किलो जूल पर मोल के आसपास होती है, ठीक है, ये वैल्यू, तो ये बेसिकली लगभग बराबर है। फिर आयोडीन और एस्टाटाइन के अंदर वो करें तो ये बेसिकली नॉन मेटल है और ये मेटलॉइड जैसा है, तो इनका तो वैल्यू में बहुत बड़ा फर्क यहां पर होता है, ठीक है। तो नियर बाई अगर देखें तो ए और सी मैच कर रहा है, जो आपको ऑप्शन नंबर सी से मैच कर जाएगा, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग रिएक्शन, विच ऑफ द रिएक्शन इज सुटेबल फॉर कंसंट्रेटिंग ओर बाय लीचिंग प्रोसेस, ठीक है। तो लीचिंग क्या होता है, लीचिंग में बेसिकली हम एक केमिकल रिएजेंट यूज करते हैं, ठीक है। तो लीचिंग जो प्रोसेस है उसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं बेटा, उसमें हम लोग यूज करते हैं एक केमिकल रिएजेंट, ठीक है, और ये केमिकल रिएजेंट बेसिकली यूज होता है फॉर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ ओर के लिए, ठीक है। ध्यान रखिएगा लीचिंग प्रोसेस एक बिल्कुल ऐसा प्रोसेस नहीं है कि प्यूरिफिकेशन वगैरह का है, ये बेसिकली कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ ओर का प्रोसेस है, ठीक है। तो यहां पे आप क्या करते हो, आप कंसंट्रेशन और या कंसंट्रेटिंग ऑफ ओर करते हो, ठीक है। तो अगर आप यहां पे देखोगे पहला स्टेप जो दिख रहा है आपको, ये एक्चुअली रोस्टिंग है, ठीक है, ये आपका क्या बेटा यहां पर रोस्टिंग है, ठीक है। आप देख सकते हो आपको सल्फाइड और मिला है, आप ऑक्सीजन की प्रेजेंस में बर्न करा के उसके ऑक्साइड में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो, दैट इज द रोस्टिंग। यहां पर कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड का यूज करके आप FeO बना रहे हो। अब अगर आप ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट देखोगे तो यहां पे +8/3 है और यहां पर आपको +2 मिलेगा। तो बेसिकली ये जो प्रोसेस है ये एक तरीके से आप देखोगे तो ऑक्सीडेशन और रिडक्शन का प्रोसेस है, ठीक है। तो दिस इज बेसिकली द रिडक्शन ऑफ मेटल ऑक्साइड, ठीक है, एक लोअर ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट में। फिर यहां से जब आप यूज करते हो कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड को तो ये रिड्यूस होकर बना लेता है आयरन, ठीक है। ये जो प्रोसेस है Al2O3 को NaOH की प्रेजेंस में, ठीक है, यहां पर आपको एक सॉल्ट मिल रहा है, और जो इंप्यूरिटीज हैं अगर मान लो इसके साथ कोई इंप्यूरिटी होती तो क्या इंप्यूरिटी का रिएक्शन होता, नहीं, इंप्यूरिटी का रिएक्शन नहीं होता, ठीक है। तो ये आपका फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आपको यहां पर मिलता है, ठीक है। तो दिस इज बेसिकली द केमिकल लीचिंग, इसे हम बोलते हैं केमिकल लीचिंग, ठीक है। तो ऑप्शन नंबर सी सही है। लास्ट वाला जो ऑप्शन है ये बेसिकली रिडक्शन है, ठीक है। कैसे, यहां Mg 0 में है, यहां +2 में है, यहां पे एल्यूमिनियम +3 में है, यहां पे एल्यूमिनियम 0 में है, ठीक है। है। तो दिस इज बेसिकली द रिडक्शन ऑफ मेटल ऑक्साइड, ठीक है, ये रिडक्शन ऑफ मेटल ऑक्साइड है जो कि यूज नहीं किया जाता क्योंकि मैग्नीशियम बहुत महंगा मेटल है, तो ये रिडक्शन ऑफ मेटल ऑक्साइड जरूर है ये, बट ये स्टेप यूज नहीं होता, ठीक है। तो ये चीज भी आपको यहां पर ध्यान में रखना है, ठीक है। तो आंसर जो हो जाएगा ऑप्शन नंबर सी हो जाएगा। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, ये बेसिकली शिफ्ट 1 और शिफ्ट 2 दोनों पेपर में रिपीट हो गया था, ठीक है। ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये शिफ्ट 1 और शिफ्ट 2 दोनों के पेपर में रिपीट हो गया था, ठीक है। और क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल है कि जब मेटल सॉल्ट फॉर्म ड्यूरिंग द सॉफ्टनिंग ऑफ हार्ड वाटर, तो आप क्या करते हो, आप बेसिकली जब जो भी हमारा हार्ड वाटर है, ठीक है, जब हम उसको बेसिकली CaOH होल ट्वाइस से ट्रीट करते हैं कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड से, यही क्लार्क मेथड होता है, तो ये बेसिकली कन्वर्ट होता है CaCO3 में, ठीक है। यहां पर कैल्शियम के जो वो होते हैं, ठीक है, हार्डनेस होती है, जो मैग्नीशियम की हार्डनेस होती है जैसे MgHCO3 होल ट्वाइस जो है, जब इसकी रिएक्शन आप कराते हो कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड से, तो उस केस में ये कन्वर्ट होता है बेसिकली यहां पर CaCO3 मिलता है, ठीक है, साथ में आपको यहां पर मिलता है MgOH होल ट्वाइस, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली मैग्नीशियम जो है वो इसमें कन्वर्ट होता है, कैल्शियम की इंप्योरिटी कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट में कन्वर्ट होती है, ठीक है। तो आप देख सकते हो कौन सा ऑप्शन मैच कर रहा है, ये वाला ऑप्शन आपको मैच कर रहा है, कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट एंड मैग्नीशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट, तो इनकरेक्ट वाला पिक करना है, ठीक है। लो सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ LiF इन वाटर इज ड्यू टू इट्स स्मॉल हाइड्रेशन एंथैल्पी, ठीक है, बिल्कुल गलत है ये इसलिए होता है, स्मॉल नहीं, पहले बात तो इसके हाई हाइड्रेशन एंथैल्पी होती है और ये सॉल्युबल होते हैं, ठीक है, ये सॉल्युबल होते हैं। लो सॉल्युबिलिटी LiF की जो होती है ड्यू टू तो काट ही दो, हैज हाई, इसके LiF की अगर बात करें तो हाई ये होता है, ठीक है। और साथ ही साथ अगर हम यहां पर देखें तो हाई लैटिस एंथैल्पी भी होती है, ठीक है। और हाई लैटिस एंथैल्पी जो है ये बेसिकली पूरा गेम बिगाड़ देता है, क्योंकि अगर लैटिस टूटेगा नहीं तो वो डिसॉल्व होगा नहीं, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली इसको डिसॉल्व कराने के लिए, ठीक है, गुड मॉर्निंग सोमन्ना, ओके। तो बेसिकली इसको डिसॉल्व कराने के लिए जो लैटिस एंथैल्पी होती है वो क्या रहती है बेटा, यहां पर हाई रहती है, ठीक है। तो ये चीज हमें यहां पर इसकी वजह से नहीं हो पाता, क्योंकि वो टूटता ही नहीं है सॉलिड, जब वो टूटेगा नहीं तो डिसॉल्व होगा नहीं, क्योंकि डिसोल्यूशन 2 स्टेप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, एक तो उसका टूटना और उसके बाद उसका मिक्स होना, ठीक है। तो यहां पर टूटता ही नहीं है, ठीक है। अगला जो है KO2 इज ए पैरामैग्नेटिक, बिल्कुल सही है। O2 माइनस अगर देखोगे तो 17 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, यानी ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पीसीज है, और ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पीसीज सारी क्या होती है बेटा, पैरामैग्नेटिक होती हैं विदाउट एनी एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है। तो ये चीज याद रखिएगा। सोल्यूशन ऑफ द सोडियम इन द लिक्विड अमोनिया इज ए कंडक्टिंग इन नेचर, बिल्कुल सही है। जैसे ही आप सोडियम को अमोनिया सोल्यूशन में डालते हो, ठीक है, सोडियम मेटल को आप अमोनिया में डालते हो, तो बेसिकली क्या होता है कि सोडियम सबसे पहले 2 चीजें बनाता है, एक तो सोडियम प्लस और एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रिलीज करता है। ये जो सोडियम प्लस है ये बेसिकली जाता है NH3 के साथ कंबाइन हो जाता है और यहां पर ये एक कंडक्टिंग आयन होता है, ठीक है। उसी तरीके से ये इलेक्ट्रॉन भी रिलीज कर देता है, और इन दोनों आयंस के कंडक्टेंस की वजह से बेसिकली हमें क्या देखने को मिलता है बेटा, यहां पर हमें ये देखने को मिलता है कि प्लस होगा सिर्फ, तो यहां पर हमें इसकी कंडक्टिविटी देखने को मिलता है। तो ये स्टेटमेंट भी ट्रू है, सिर्फ एक ही स्टेटमेंट अभी तक फॉल्स है, वो ये है, ठीक है। सोडियम मेटल हैज हायर डेंसिटी देन द पोटेशियम, ये बिल्कुल सही स्टेटमेंट है। एक्चुअली क्या है कि अगर आप सोडियम से पोटेशियम की तरफ जाते हो तो यहां से यहां पर मास में तो इंक्रीज हुआ है, बट साइज में यहां पर भी क्या हुआ बेटा, इंक्रीज हुआ है, ठीक है। तो अब मास में जो इंक्रीज हुआ है, क्योंकि यहां से यहां हो गए, मास में सिर्फ 8 यूनिट का इंक्रीज हुआ है, ठीक है, 8 यूनिट ऑफ मास इंक्रीज, ठीक है। यहां से यहां तक आने पर 8 यूनिट का मास क्या हुआ बेटा, इंक्रीज हुआ है, और साइज उसके मुकाबले बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया है, ठीक है। साइज उसके मुकाबले क्या बेटा, बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया है, इसलिए जो हम देखते हैं कि इसकी जो पोटेशियम की डेंसिटी होती है वो रिलेटिवली कम हो जाती है सोडियम के मुकाबले। तो बाकी तीनों स्टेटमेंट ट्रू हैं, ये भी ट्रू है, ये भी ट्रू है, ये भी ट्रू है, सिर्फ यही आपका फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट है, ठीक है। तो यही आपका आंसर है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इनको करने पर कौन सी गैसेस रिलीज होती हैं, ठीक है। तो ये अमोनियम डाइक्रोमेट है, जब आप इसको हीट करते हो तो यहां पे आपको नाइट्रोजन गैस रिलीज होती है, ठीक है। ध्यान रखना ये नाइट्रोजन गैस बनाने का एक तरीका भी है, प्रोडक्शन करने का एक तरीका भी है, ठीक है। KMnO4 को अगर आप इससे करोगे तो ये Cl- आयन जो है इसका ऑक्सीडेशन कर देगा, क्योंकि ये ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है, वो भी स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है। तो ये क्या करेगा, इसको ऑक्सीडाइज करके Cl2 में कन्वर्ट कर देगा। एल्यूमिनियम जो है ये आपको पता होगा कि एम्फोट्रिक मेटल है, बेस से भी रिएक्ट करके H2 देता है और एसिड से भी, ठीक है। तो यहां पर ये बेस से रिएक्ट करेगा और यहां पर रिलीज कर देगा हाइड्रोजन गैस। NaNO3 को हीट करोगे तो ये बेसिकली थर्मली स्टेबल होता है, ये NaNO2 और O2 में ब्रेक होता है, ठीक है। तो यहां से O2 गैस निकलती है, यहां से Cl2 और यहां से N2, बाकी आप ऑप्शन मैच करा सकते हो, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है विच हैज द लीस्ट टेंडेंसी टू लिबरेट हाइड्रोजन। आपको पता है कि बेसिकली मेटल दो तरीके के होते हैं एक्टिविटी सीरीज के हिसाब से, ठीक है। मेटल जो अबोव यहां पर क्या होते हैं बेटा, हाइड्रोजन, जो अबोव हाइड्रोजन होते हैं, और दूसरे होते हैं जो बिलो हाइड्रोजन होते हैं, ठीक है। अब अगर वो बिलो हाइड्रोजन है, ठीक है, बिलो हाइड्रोजन है, तो वो एक्चुअली क्या करेगा बेटा, वेरी लेस टेंडेंसी, ठीक है, वेरी लेस टेंडेंसी, ठीक है। इसकी जो टेंडेंसी होगी वो क्या हो जाएगी यहां पर, वेरी लेस टेंडेंसी टू रिलीज H2O, ठीक है, टू रिलीज बेसिकली H2। तो H2 निकालने के लिए जो इसकी टेंडेंसी है वो क्या होगी, कम होगी। तो यहां पर अगर हम देखें तो कॉपर की जो टेंडेंसी है वो बहुत कम रहने वाली है, ठीक है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, इन पोल्यूटेड वाटर वैल्यू ऑफ बोथ डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन एंड BOD आर वेरी लो। ये गलत स्टेटमेंट है, डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन कम होता है, बट BOD जो डिमांड है उस ऑक्सीजन की, उसको डीके करने के लिए, जो उसके अंदर बैक्टीरिया, फंगस या इंप्यूरिटीज जो प्रेजेंट है वो बहुत हाई होता है, ठीक है। तो ये तो सही है कि ये लो होता है, और ये जो है ये बहुत हाई होता है और ग्रेटर देन 17 ppm होता है, ठीक है। ये तो ये चीज हम लोग को यहां पर देखने को मिलती है, ठीक है। तो ये स्टेटमेंट यहां पर गलत है। स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 की बात करते हैं, ठीक है। स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 की अगर देखें, यूट्रोफिकेशन रिजल्ट्स इन द डिक्रीज इन द अमाउंट ऑफ डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन। बिल्कुल सही है। यूट्रोफिकेशन क्या होता है, ड्यू टू एक्सेस, जैसे अगर हम खेती करते हैं तो हम लोग फर्टिलाइजर्स यूज करते हैं, उन फर्टिलाइजर से होता क्या है, वो पानी में जाते हैं, और जब वो पानी में जाते हैं ना तो दे इंक्रीज द अमाउंट, ठीक है। क्या करते हैं बेटा, वो इंक्रीज कर देते हैं अमाउंट को, ठीक है, अमाउंट ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स इंक्रीज कर देते हैं। तो उस पानी के अंदर ना बहुत सारे एल्गेस का ग्रोथ हो जाता है, ठीक है, बहुत सारे फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स का ग्रोथ हो जाता है, ठीक है। तो यहां पर अगर आप देखोगे तो एल्गेस और फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स का ग्रोथ हो जाता है, ठीक है। तो एल्गेस और फाइटोप्लैंक्टन जो है ना, ये यहां पर थोड़े से ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, ठीक है। तो अब इन फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स और एल्गेस की ग्रोथ की वजह से जो कंजम्पशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन है वो बढ़ जाता है, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली जो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन है वो कम हो जाता है, क्योंकि ये ऑक्सीजन ग्रैब कर ले रहे हैं। तो ये पॉइंट ट्रू है और पहला वाला आपका फॉल्स है, तो दिस इज फॉल्स, दिस इज ट्रू, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। अगला जो क्वेश्चन है वो बेसिकली कंपाउंड्स पे बेस्ड है, टाइप ऑफ कंपाउंड्स पे, ठीक है। तो जैसे अगर यहां पर हम देखें तो यहां पर क्योंकि ये 2 कार्बन से लिंक हो रहा है, ठीक है, और यहां पर एक कार्बन लिंकिंग पॉइंट है 2 रिंग्स के बीच में, तो ऐसे कंपाउंड्स को हम लोग स्पाइरो बोलते हैं। जिनमें 2 होते हैं वो बेसिकली बाइसाइक्लो बोले जाते हैं, ठीक है। अब आते हैं बाकी ऑप्शंस को देखते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये तो हो गया। एरोमेटिक की बात करें, ये एरोमेटिक है, देखो यहां पर बेसिकली आप देखोगे एरोमेटिक है, इसके अंदर 6 पाई इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ठीक है। तो ये बेसिकली क्या हो जाएगा बेटा, यहां पर एरोमेटिक हो जाएगा, ठीक है। तो दिस इज एरोमेटिक, नो डाउट इन दैट, ठीक है। और बाकी बचा क्या, ये हेट्रोसाइक्लिक है, ठीक है। हेट्रोसाइक्लिक 2 हैं इसमें, ठीक है। ऑप्शन नंबर डी भी हेट्रोसाइक्लिक। हेट्रोसाइक्लिक का मतलब कि जो साइकिल है उसमें एक ही तरह के एटम नहीं है, कोई अदर देन दैट एटम है। जैसे यहां पर कार्बन है, यहां पे कार्बन है, यहां पे कार्बन है, यहां पे कार्बन, बट यहां पे ऑक्सीजन है, तो ये हेट्रोसाइक्लिक कहलाएगा, ठीक है। नॉन प्लेनर है क्योंकि ये sp3 होंगे, ठीक है। ये कार्बन जो है वो sp3 है, ये ऑक्सीजन जो है ये sp3 है, तो ये बेसिकली नॉन प्लेनर भी है, ठीक है। तो ये ऑप्शन इसके साथ मैच कर जाएगा, ठीक है। तो आप बाकी मैचिंग करा लेना, ठीक है। मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन फॉर द फॉलोइंग रिएक्शन, ठीक है। तो देखो क्या पूछा क्या गया, ए एंड बी। अच्छा, मार्कोनिकॉफ एक एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ, तो इस रिएक्शन को बहुत फेमसली आपको पता होगा ऑक्सीमर्कुरेशन डीमर्कुरेशन कहा जाता है, और इसके अंदर क्या होता है बेटा, मार्कोनिकॉफ रूल फॉलो होता है, ठीक है। इसके अंदर क्या होता है बेटा, मार्कोनिकॉफ रूल फॉलो होता है, ठीक है। तो यहां पर आपको जो प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा वो मार्कोनिकॉफ प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा, यानी कि बेसिकली आपको जो प्रोडक्ट दिखेगा वो कुछ इस प्रकार का होगा, CH3 CCH3, यहां पर भी आपका क्या आ जाएगा बेटा CH3, फिर यहां पर आपके पास आ जाएगा CH, और यहां पर आपके पास OH, और यहां पर CH3, ठीक है। और ये जो है इस रिएक्शन को बहुत प्यार से HBO यानी हाइड्रोबोरेशन ऑक्सीडेशन कहा जाता है, और इसमें जो रिएक्शन चलती है वो चलती है एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ, ठीक है। क्या चलती है बेटा, इसमें एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ चलती है, ठीक है। तो ये एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ प्रोडक्ट देता है, ठीक है। तो दिस इज बेसिकली एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ प्रोडक्ट, ठीक है। तो इस साइड मार्कोनिकॉफ और इस साइड एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ, इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ की बात करें तो हाइड्रोजन इधर जुड़ेगा, OH इधर जुड़ेगा, ठीक है। तो देख लेना क्या मैच कर रहा है, तो A इज ए मार्कोनिकॉफ एंड B इज ए एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ, ठीक है। चलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ। Among the following marked proton, which of the following will show lowest pKa value? ठीक है। तो आपको पता ही होगा कि एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ जो होती है वो pKa के इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल होती है, ठीक है, और Ka के डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होती है, ठीक है। तो एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू Ka एंड इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू pKa, ठीक है। यानी अब है ये चेक करना है कि लोवेस्ट यानी हाईएस्ट एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ, तो लोवेस्ट pKa का मतलब क्या हुआ कि हमें क्या चेक करना है बेटा, यहां पर चेक करना हाईएस्ट हाईएस्ट एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ, ठीक है। क्या चेक करना बेटा हमें, हाईएस्ट एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ, ठीक है। तो चलो देखते हैं कि हाईएस्ट एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ किस में आ रहा है। तो तरीका क्या है, कॉन्जुगेट बेस बनाओ और स्टेबिलिटी चेक करो। ये बिल्कुल वो वाला है तरीका, ठीक है, कि आपको सोचना ही नहीं है, यही एक लौता रूल है, ठीक है। स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ कॉन्जुगेट बेस, जितना ज्यादा स्टेबिलिटी होगी कॉन्जुगेट बेस की उतना ज्यादा एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ होगा, ठीक है। तो अगर यहां से इसको निकाल दे, माइनस बना, अब ये जो ग्रुप है ये क्या लगा रहा होगा बेटा, माइनस एम इफेक्ट लगा रहा होगा, ठीक है। यहां पर अगर एनायन बना है तो ये बेसिकली क्या कर रहा होगा बेटा, इसके साथ कॉन्जुगेशन में होगा, ठीक है। तो यहां पर कॉन्जुगेशन होगा बट तब भी इसका क्या लग रहा होगा बेटा, प्लस आई लग रहा होगा, ठीक है। यहां पर जब होगा माइनस आएगा और ये माइनस इधर क्या कर सकता है बेटा, कॉन्जुगेट कर सकता है और इधर भी कॉन्जुगेट कर सकता है, ठीक है। तो इधर आपका रेजोनेंस है, ठीक है, भयंकर रेजोनेंस है। अगले वाले में एक तरफ तो देखो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, एक तरफ इधर बनाओगे, इधर तो आपका रेजोनेंस है, बट दूसरे वाले तरफ क्या हो रहा है कि यहां पर रेजोनेंस प्लस माइनस आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, माइनस एम ग्रुप इफेक्ट लग रहा है। तो सबसे ज्यादा जो स्टेबल है ना वो ऑप्शन नंबर सी है। क्यों? क्योंकि यहां माइनस एम लग रहा था, ठीक है, यहां पे प्लस आई लग रहा था और रेजोनेंस दूसरे वाले साइड पे नहीं था, यहां पे दोनों साइड रेजोनेंस है, ठीक है। तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि रेजोनेंस इंटू 2 है, प्लस इसका थोड़ा बहुत इफेक्ट लग रहा होगा बट वो माइनस एम से तो कम ही होगा एटलीस्ट, ठीक है। तो ये हमारा आंसर हो जाएगा इसका। मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, यहां पर एक सवाल है जो बेसिकली काफी बड़ा सा क्वेश्चन लग रहा है, चलो देखते हैं। तो सबसे पहले स्टेप में ये कराना है और फिर दूसरे स्टेप में ये ओवरऑल एक ही रिएक्शन है, ठीक है। तो ये पहला वाला तो आपको पता ही एल्काइलेशन है, ठीक है। तो एल्काइलेशन करोगे तो जो बनकर आएगा प्रोडक्ट, पहला एल्काइलेशन के बाद कि कार्बोकेटायन बनाओगे यहां पे और इसको जोड़ दोगे, ठीक है। तो दिस विल बी समथिंग लाइक दिस। क्यूमीन बन गया, क्यूमीन का आप हाइड्रोजन ये H+ और H2O के प्रेजेंस में रिएक्शन करा रहे हो, ऑक्सीडेशन करा रहे हो। तो क्यूमीन का ऑक्सीडेशन कराने पे आपको पता ही है क्या होता है बेटा, यहाँ पे फेनॉल मिल जाता है, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली फेनॉल मिल जाएगा, ये हमारा P होगा, ये हमारा P आ गया। अब P के दो रास्ते हैं, ठीक है, एक तो इधर Br2 इन CS2 नॉन पोलर मीडियम में आ रहा है, ठीक है। तो जब लेस पोलर मीडियम हम यूज करते हैं, जब हम क्या यूज करते हैं बेटा, लेस पोलर मीडियम यूज करते हैं, तो उस केस में ब्रोमीन कहां पे सब्स्टिट्यूट होता है बेटा, मेजरली वो पैरा पे सब्स्टिट्यूट होता है, सिर्फ सिंगल सब्स्टिट्यूशन होता है, ठीक है, सिंगल इलेक्ट्रोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन होता है। अगर यही पोलर मीडियम होता, जैसे अगर वाटर के प्रेजेंस में कराते, तो अभी यहां पर क्या होता कि तीनों जगह जितनी भी एक्टिवेटेड पोजीशन है सब पे ब्रोमीन मिलता, ठीक है। यहां पर ये है ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट, तो ये क्या करेगा बेटा, ये ऑक्सीडाइजेशन रिएक्शन करेगा, ठीक है। तो ये ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन करके क्या करेगा बेटा, फेनॉल का जब ये ऑक्सीडेशन करेगा तो ये बना देगा बेंजोनाइड, ठीक है। क्या बना देगा बेटा, बेंजोनाइड, ठीक है, सॉरी क्यूनोइन, सॉरी क्यूनोइन बना देगा। और जो क्यूनोइन नजर आएगा वो आपको कुछ इस प्रकार का नजर आएगा, तो ये कुछ इस प्रकार का प्रोडक्ट हो जाएगा, ठीक है, क्यूनोइन बना देगा। तो देख लो किस में आंसर है, बी में सही लग रहा है, ठीक है, हाँ बी ही सही है, ठीक है। गोइंग टू द अनदर क्वेश्चन, अब आपको पता होगा कि दो तरह के एलिमिनेशंस होते हैं, एक तो होता है हॉफमैन और एक आपका क्या होता है बेटा, सेटजेफ, ठीक है। सेटजेफ इन जनरल होता है, ठीक है, लेकिन हॉफमैन के लिए कुछ कंडीशंस होती हैं। जैसे पहली कंडीशन क्या होती है हॉफमैन की, कि स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस होना चाहिए, ठीक है। दूसरी कंडीशन क्या होती है इसकी, दूसरी कंडीशन ये होती है कि वीक लिविंग ग्रुप होना चाहिए, ठीक है, वीक लिविंग ग्रुप होना चाहिए और स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस होना चाहिए, ठीक है। इसमें देखो जो ये तुम्हें लगाकर दिया हुआ है ना, ये बेसिकली वीक लिविंग ग्रुप है, ठीक है, कंडीशंस तैयार हैं किसी तरीके से, और जो यहां पर बेस है ये बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस है, ठीक है। तो यानी स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस भी है और आपके पास वीक लिविंग ग्रुप है। तो जो मेजर होगा वो हॉफमैन हो जाएगा, ठीक है, और जो माइनर होगा वो सेटजेफ हो जाएगा, ठीक है। हॉफमैन एल्कीन क्या होता है, हॉफमैन में यहां पे पाई बॉन्ड मिलेगा, ठीक है, ये हॉफमैन होगा, और यहां पे अगर मेजर सब्स्टिट्यूटेड मिलता है तो वो सेटजेफ कहलाएगा, ठीक है। तो देख लेना आप कौन से में प्रोडक्ट मैच कर रहा है। वैसे हॉफमैन वाले ही दो ऑप्शंस में से कोई एक सही हो सकता है, तो ए तो ये मेजर है ना, तो ये वाला आंसर होगा, ठीक है, सी। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, टेरेलिन पॉलीमर इज ऑब्टेन्ड बाय कंडेंसेशन ऑफ, ठीक है। टेरेलिन बेसिकली किसकी वजह से बनता है, ये टरपैथिलिक एसिड और ग्लाइकोल के कॉम्बिनेशन से बनता है, ठीक है। तो ये आपका ग्लाइकोल होता है और इसकी कॉम्बिनेशन जब आप टरपैथिलिक एसिड से कराते हो, ठीक है जी, यानी कि इस तरीके का जो एसिड होता है, ठीक है, COOH और COOH, ठीक है, तो इन दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन से बनता है। तो लेट्स चेक द आंसर्स, ठीक है, तो अच्छा IUPAC नेम दिया हुआ है, सॉरी, तो इसको हम लोग इथेन 1,2 डायोल बोलेंगे क्योंकि 2 कार्बन है और दोनों पे ओल लगा हुआ है, ठीक है, तो ये तो ऑप्शन गया, ठीक है, ये ऑप्शन तो गया, ठीक है, अब बचे 3, और ये क्या है 1,4 डाइकार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड है, ठीक है, 1, 2, 3 और 4, तो 1,4 वाले बचेंगे, तो ये भी गया, ठीक है, ये भी गया, बस ये एक ही तो बच रहा है इसमें, सी ऑप्शन, ठीक है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, अच्छा ये कंपाउंड है, फॉर द बिलो गिवन हेमिएसिटल सॉरी द करेक्ट पायरोनोस स्ट्रक्चर, तो आपको करेक्ट इसका पायरोनोस बना के आपको दिखाना है, ठीक है। देखो कैसे करते हैं, तो ऐसा जब भी दिया हो ना आपको, तो ये वाली जो एंड होती है ये अप होती है एक्चुअली, ठीक है, इसको छोड़ के लास्ट वाले को, क्योंकि लास्ट वाले में इधर भी ग्रुप लगा होता है, ठीक है, तो ये जो इतने हैं ना ये सब अप जाएंगे, ठीक है, ये कहां जो जाएंगे बेटा, अप पे जाएंगे, और इधर का अप ये एक्वायर कर लेता है, ठीक है, तो ये बेसिकली अप पे जाएंगे और ये सब डाउन पे, तो ऐसा ऑप्शन पिक करो जिसमें ये सब अप वाले पोजीशन पर हो, ठीक है, यानी कि इस तरीके का अरेंजमेंट आ रहा हो। तो देखते हैं, तो OH है अप पे, फिर ये OH अप पे होना था, डाउन पे चला गया, गलत है, ठीक है, यहां पे देखो ये पहला ही डाउन है, गलत हो गया, ये वाला अप है, ये वाला अप है, ठीक है, ये फिर यहाँ पे हाइड्रोजन अप में आएगा, ठीक है, फिर यहाँ पे OH अप पे आना था, लेकिन OH नहीं है, OH डाउन पर है, तो ये गलत हो गया, बचा ये वाला, तो यही सही होना चाहिए, अप अप डाउन अप अप, ठीक है, तो ये सही है, ठीक है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, देयर आर यहां पर आपको स्टेटमेंट अबाउट इनहिबिटर्स आर गिवन बिलो, ठीक है, करेक्ट आंसर चूज करना है कि इनमें से सही कौन सा है, ठीक है। चलो तो देखो, देयर आर कंपिटिटिव एंड नॉन कंपिटिटिव इनहिबिटर, बिल्कुल सही है, कंपिटिटिव एक्टिव साइड पे जाते हैं और नॉन कंपिटिटिव एलोस्टोकिक साइड पे जाते हैं, ठीक है, कंपिटिटिव मतलब कंपटीशन कर रहा है, वो एक्टिव साइड को ही छीन ले रहा है, नॉन कंपिटिटिव कोई एक्शन नहीं करते, वो किसी दूसरे साइड पे जाते हैं और उसकी वजह से तुम्हारा काम बिगाड़ देते हैं, ठीक है, तो ऐसे होता है ये, ठीक है। तो चलो, दिस कैन बाइंड टू एक्टिव साइड एज वेल एज द एलोस्टोकिक साइड, दोनों सही है, पहला दोनों स्टेटमेंट। एक्टिव कंपिटिटिव ड्रग्स आर एलोस्टोकिक साइड ब्लॉकिंग, नहीं ये एक्टिव करते हैं, ठीक है, नॉन कंपिटिटिव ड्रग्स आर एक्टिव साइड, नहीं ये एलोस्टोकिक करते हैं, तो सिर्फ 2 स्टेटमेंट सही हैं, ए और बी, ठीक है। अगले क्वेश्चन पे आते हैं, फॉर काइनेटिक स्टडी ऑफ द रिएक्शन ऑफ आयोडाइड आयन विथ H2O2, ठीक है, तो ये वही वाली रिएक्शन है जो ये काइनेटिक्स की स्टडी करते हैं, इसकी रिएक्शन इससे करा के, ठीक है, टाइट्रेशन वगैरह स्टडी किया जाता है जनरली, ठीक है, एट रूम टेम्परेचर, ऑलवेज यूज द फ्रेशली प्रिपेयर्ड स्टार्च सोल्यूशन, बिल्कुल सही, क्योंकि अगर आप पुराना करोगे तो आपको रीडिंग्स में दिक्कत आ सकती है ड्यू टू ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ स्टार्च, ठीक है, तो ये तो है, ठीक है। ऑलवेज कीप द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम थायोसल्फेट, जो आप बेसिकली टाइट्रेट करते हो, सोल्यूशन लेस देन, बिल्कुल सही है यार, देखो अगर ये तुम्हारा बेसिकली एक्सेस में होगा, ठीक है, सोडियम थायोसल्फेट की अगर बात करें, अगर ये एक्सेस में होगा, ठीक है, KI से ज्यादा होगा, ठीक है, तो फिर तो ये कभी सही रीडिंग दे ही नहीं पाएगा ना, क्योंकि आप इसको टाइट्रेट कर रहे हो, ठीक है, अगर आप इसको टाइट्रेट कर रहे हो तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए ना कि इसको धीरे धीरे डालना है, ड्रॉप बाय ड्रॉप, तभी तो एग्जैक्ट रीडिंग आएगी जब KI खत्म हो जाएगा, ठीक है, तो ये भी सही है, ठीक है। रिकॉर्ड द टाइम इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द अपीयरेंस, बिल्कुल, जैसे ही ब्लू कलर अपीयर होता है तुरंत उसके बाद टाइम नोट करना है, उससे पहले तो नहीं कर सकते, तो ये स्टेटमेंट डी तो ऐसी गलत हो गया, बिफोर, उससे पहले कैसे कर लोगे, पता ही नहीं होगा ना, ठीक है। फिर ऑलवेज कीप द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम थायोसल्फेट सोल्यूशन, नहीं ज्यादा रखोगे तो प्रॉब्लम है, ज्यादा रखोगे रीडिंग सही नहीं आएगी, ठीक है, जब आप टाइट्रेट करोगे, ठीक है, तो जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो A-B-C हो जाएगा, ये दोनों स्टेटमेंट गलत हैं, D और E, ठीक है। यहां से इंटीजर टाइप क्वेश्चन शुरू हो रहे हैं, ठीक है, एक एक करके हम लोग देखते हैं। तो इन द गिवन रिएक्शन, एक रिएक्शन है जिसमें 1 मोल ये है, 1 मोल ये है और ये 0.05 मोल है, ठीक है, क्वेश्चन के अकॉर्डिंग, और ये आपको प्रोडक्ट दे रहा है, इसका मास आपको बताना है और इसका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट आपको पता है, ठीक है, मॉलिक्यूलर वेट जो हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा 20 + 10 + 30 × 3, ठीक है, तो ये बेसिकली कितना आ रहा है, ये आ रहा है 90 और 30 120 आ रहा है, ठीक है, 120 ग्राम। तो इसके जो मोल्स बनेंगे, देखो अब लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट तो यही है, पता चल जा रहा है साफ साफ, सबसे कम अमाउंट में, तो इसके रेफरेंस में इसको देखते हैं, तो ये कितने बेटा हो जाएंगे, मोल्स ऑफ XYZ3 जनरेटेड या प्रोड्यूस्ड, आप कह सकते हो कि जो इसके मोल्स आप यहां पर क्या कर रहे हो बेटा, प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो, वो आपको हो जाएंगे 0.05/3, ठीक है, इतने मोल्स हो जाएंगे। तो अगर ये इतने मोल हैं तो मास ऑफ XYZ3 प्रोड्यूस कितना हो जाएगा बेटा, यहां पर ये कितना प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा, प्रोड्यूस, तो ये हो जाएगा 0.05/3 इंटू बेसिकली इतने ग्राम, ठीक है, ग्राम में ही पूछा गया आपसे, तो 120, इसको सॉल्व कर लीजिए, आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है, ये 2 जैसा कुछ लग रहा है, ठीक है, तो ये आपका आंसर आ जाएगा। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एन एलिमेंट M क्रिस्टलाइजेस इन द BCC क्यूबिक यूनिट सेल, तो BCC है तो Z इफेक्ट जो Z होगा वो 2 हो जाएगा, मतलब कि नंबर ऑफ एटम्स इन यूनिट सेल विथ एन एज लेंथ ऑफ दिस, तो A आपको दिया गया है, A जो है वो आपको 300 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -10 या 12, हाँ पीको में दिया गया, -12 मीटर दिया गया है, ठीक है। द डेंसिटी ऑफ द एलिमेंट इन, अच्छा इसको तो सेंटीमीटर में रखना पड़ेगा फिर, क्योंकि इन्होंने उसमें पूछा हुआ है। डेंसिटी आपको दी गई है, डेंसिटी जो है वो 6.0 ग्राम पर सेंटीमीटर क्यूब है, ठीक है। द नंबर ऑफ एटम प्रेजेंट इन 180 ग्राम ऑफ द एलिमेंट, तो वो लास्ट वाला तो नंबर ऑफ एटम अगर आपको निकालना है तो वो तो बहुत सिंपल है, आप कैसे करोगे, सबसे पहले मोल्स निकाल लोगे, ठीक है। तो मोल्स कैसे आ जाएंगे, गिवन मास बाई मोलर मास, ठीक है, मोलर मास, और फिर नंबर ऑफ एटम्स आपको निकालने हैं तो मल्टीप्लाई कैसे करना पड़ेगा, Na से, तो नंबर ऑफ एटम जो हो जाएंगे वो हो जाएंगे 180 बाई मोलर मास इनटू बेसिकली यहां पर आ जाएगा Na, ठीक है। तो ये चीज आपको यहां पर करना है, ठीक है, लेकिन उससे पहले हमें M चाहिए, क्योंकि हमें M नहीं पता है, ठीक है। तो चलो मोलर मास निकालते हैं इसका, तो कैसे निकालेंगे, डेंसिटी का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है बेटा, डेंसिटी का फॉर्मूला होता है Z इंटू मोलर मास अपॉन A क्यूब इंटू Na, ठीक है। तो बस अब आपको सारी चीजें पता है, यहां से सब्स्टिट्यूट करना शुरू कर दीजिए, क्वेश्चन में M एक अननोन है, आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है, बाकी कैलकुलेशन है, ठीक है। आगे बढ़ते हैं, द नंबर ऑफ पैरामैग्नेटिक स्पीसीज अमॉन्ग द फॉलोइंग, देखो पैरामैग्नेटिक अगर पूछा जा रहा है ना तो 3 चीजें याद रखो, B2, O2 और बेसिकली ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन, ठीक है, यही होते हैं पैरामैग्नेटिक अगर हम कोवेलेंट कंपाउंड्स की बात करें, ठीक है, ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन मॉलिक्यूल्स, ठीक है। तो ये हमें यहां पर चेक करना है कि ये कौन से ऑप्शन से मैच कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो B2 ये हो गया, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ठीक है, ये हमारा ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन हो गया 13 इलेक्ट्रॉन, ठीक है। ये अगर देखोगे तो ये नहीं है क्योंकि ये 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ठीक है। ये अगर देखोगे तो ये क्या हो जाएगा बेटा, ये है ना, ये देख लेना, ये आपका कितना हो जाएगा 15 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ये आपका 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन हो गया, ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन है, तो ये हो जाएंगे, तो आंसर जो आएगा वो 4 आ जाएगा। कौन कौन से, B2, C2 माइनस, O2 प्लस और He2 प्लस, ठीक है, तो ये हो जाएंगे आंसर। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, 150 ग्राम ऑफ एसिटिक एसिड was contaminated with 10.2 ग्राम ऑफ एब्जॉर्बिक एसिड, और मोलर मास आपको एब्जॉर्बिक एसिड का पता है, तो आप मोलालिटी निकाल लो क्वेश्चन में, ठीक है। क्वेश्चन को अप्रोच कैसे करना है कि मोलालिटी निकाल लो, तो मोलालिटी का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है बेटा, मोल्स अपॉन बेसिकली सॉल्वेंट इन केजी, मास ऑफ सॉल्वेंट इन बेसिकली केजी रखना है, ठीक है। तो जो मोल्स हैं, मोल्स कितने हो जाएंगे बेटा, मोल्स हो जाएंगे आपका 10.2 अपॉन 176 डिवाइडेड बाई सॉल्वेंट का वेट कितना है 150 kg, तो ये हो जाएगा 0.15, ठीक है। तो ये आपका मोलालिटी आ गया। अब कह रहा है कि इसका जो फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट है वो इतने से लोअर हो गया है, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली आपको क्या करना है, आपको डेल्टा TF इज इक्वल टू फॉर्मूला जो होता है वो होता है KB डॉट M होता है, ठीक है। अब आपको देखो KB क्वेश्चन में शायद KF होगा, KF क्वेश्चन में आपको KF दिया गया है, ठीक है, और ये आपको दिया गया ना, ये भी दिया गया है x इंटू 10 टू द पावर -1 इज इक्वल्स टू, ये कितना है बेटा 3.9 है, ठीक है। तो इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, 3.9 कर देना इंटू बेसिकली, ठीक है, मोलालिटी आपको क्वेश्चन में गिवन है ना, ये रही कितना है, ये 10.2 डिवाइडेड बाई 176 इंटू 0.15, ठीक है। तो इसको सॉल्व कर लीजिए, x आ जाएगा, आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, Ka फॉर द ब्यूटारिक एसिड इज गिवन, ठीक है। द pH ऑफ दिस सोल्यूशन, देखो होता क्या, अगर आप H+ को अगर आपको याद हो रिलेशन, तो H+ जो आप कैलकुलेट करते हो ना वीक एसिड्स के लिए, वो निकल कर आता है √KAC, ये निकल कर आपके पास आता है, ठीक है। तो आप इसको रख दो, आपका आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है। तो Ka की वैल्यू आपको क्वेश्चन में कितनी गिवन है, 2 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -5 इंटू हो जाएगा 2 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -1, ठीक है। तो ओवरऑल आप सॉल्व करोगे तो ये 2 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -3 आ रहा है, ठीक है। और अगर ये इतना आ रहा है तो फिर pH तो आप निकाल ही लोगे ना, pH विल बी इक्वल्स टू -log ऑफ 2 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -3 विच इज नथिंग बट 3 माइनस log ऑफ 2, ठीक है। तो ये आप सॉल्व कर लेना, आंसर आ जाएगा 2.7 आएगा, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ। फॉर ए गिवन फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन, तो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन है, A टू B में कन्वर्टर हो रहा है, और बेसिकली हाफ लाइफ ऑफ द रिएक्शन आपको इतनी दी गई है, ठीक है। अगर आपको हाफ लाइफ पता है तो आप K पता कर सकते हो ना, K इज नथिंग बट ln2/t हाफ, ठीक है। तो ये चीज़ आपको यहाँ से पता चल गई, ठीक है। द रेशियो ऑफ इनिशियल कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट एंड द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट एट टाइम 2 मिनट्स विल बी इक्वल टू, ठीक है। तो आपको इनिशियल कंसंट्रेशन अपॉन फाइनल कंसंट्रेशन का रेशियो पूछा है बस, ठीक है। तो आपको फर्स्ट ऑर्डर का वो इक्वेशन यूज कर लो। तो क्या होता है इक्वेशन, k इज इक्वल टू 1/t ln ऑफ a नॉट, ठीक है, ln ऑफ a नॉट बाई a एट एनी टाइम t। तो ये आपसे तो पूरा पूछा ही गया है, ठीक है। अब आप क्या करो, इसको लिख लो। तो ये लिखोगे आप क्या, ln2 बाई, ठीक है, यहां पर 0.3010 लिखोगे, ठीक है, और इसको भी लॉग में कन्वर्ट कर लेना बाद में, ठीक है। तो 1/2 ln ऑफ, ठीक है, यहां पर a नॉट अपॉन at, ठीक है। और ln और log में रिलेशन तो पता ही होगा, किसी भी ln को अगर log में कन्वर्ट करना है तो 2.303 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, ठीक है। तो log ऑफ 10 हो जाता है। तो इसका रिलेशन यूज कर लेना, आंसर कट जाएगा, आंसर आ जाएगा डायरेक्टली, ठीक है। 100 आता है शायद इसका आंसर। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द नंबर ऑफ इंटरहैलोजेंस फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग हैविंग स्क्वायर पिरामिडल। तो देखो बेटा, ये जो शेप है ना, ये कब आती है, ठीक है, ये तब आती है जब बेसिकली sp3d2 हाइब्रिडाइजेशन हो, ठीक है। और उसके अंदर भी अगर आप देखो तो बेसिकली क्या हो बेटा, 5 बॉन्ड पेयर हो और एक आपका लोन पेयर हो, ठीक है, 1 आपका लोन पेयर हो, ठीक है। कुछ इस प्रकार की स्ट्रक्चर होती है, m होता है, ठीक है, इस तरीके से बनता है। और ये आपका यहाँ पर ये आ जाता है, ठीक है, यहाँ पर x, यहाँ पर x, यहाँ पर भी x, यहाँ पर भी x। तो ये आप देखोगे कि स्क्वायर शेप है और ये आपका पिरामिडल बन जाता है, ठीक है। तो स्क्वायर पिरामिडल होने के लिए 5 बॉन्ड पेयर, 1 लोन पेयर चाहिए। अब आप किसी भी हैलोजन को अगर पिक करोगे तो हैलोजन्स के पास होते हैं टोटल 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन, ठीक है। 7 में से अगर एक लोन पेयर रिजर्व कर दिया जाए तो कितने बॉन्ड उसको बनाने हैं बेटा, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो सराउंडिंग के साथ कम से कम 5 बॉन्ड तो बनाने ही बनाने हैं, ठीक है। यानी कि जो मॉलिक्यूल का फॉर्मूला आएगा वो XX-5 इस टाइप का आना चाहिए, ठीक है। अब देख लो XX-5 किस में है, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया। तो यही आपके 3 इसमें आंसर होंगे, ठीक है। तो दिस विल बी योर आंसर, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। इन अ डिस्प्रपोर्शनेशन ऑफ दिस इन एसिडिक मीडियम रिजल्टेड इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ 2 मैंगनीज कंपाउंड A एंड B। तो रिएक्शन जो होती है इसकी, अगर आप एसिडिक मीडियम में ले जाते हो इसको Mn4 2- को, तो एसिडिक मीडियम में अगर आप इस रिलेशन को ले जाते हो तो ये बेसिकली क्या करता है बेटा, ये बना देता है MnO4- और साथ ही साथ ये प्रोड्यूस करता है MnO2, ठीक है, जिसमें इसकी ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट ये होती है, इसकी +4 होती है, यहाँ पे +6 होता है, ठीक है। इफ द ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट ऑफ Mn इन B इज स्मॉलर देन A, तो ये आपका B हो रहा है और ये आपका A हो रहा है, ठीक है। देन द स्पिन ओनली मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट ऑफ B, तो इसका बताना है Mn+4 का। तो अगर आप Mn में +4 में जाते हो तो बेसिकली क्या होगा कि नॉर्मल जो Mn होता है उसके अंदर होता है यहाँ पर 3d5 4s2, ठीक है। 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने हैं तो 2 यहां से 2 यहां से, तो बेसिकली बचेगा क्या 3d3। अब 3d3 अगर बचा है तो 3 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, ठीक है। तो अगर 3 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आप देखते हो तो यहां पर एक होगा, एक यहां पर होगा, एक यहां पर होगा, ठीक है। तो 3 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहां पर आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। क्या आ रहे हैं बेटा, यहां पर 3 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहां पर आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो 3 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के लिए जो वैल्यू होगी वो 3.87 होती है। तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली क्या पूछा गया, नियरेस्ट इंटीजर पूछा गया, तो 4 हो जाएगा आंसर, ठीक है। क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल है, क्वेश्चन में ज्यादा दम नहीं है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, टोटल नंबर ऑफ रिलेटिवली मोर स्टेबल आइसोमर पॉसिबल फॉर ऑक्टाहेड्रल कॉम्प्लेक्स। तो रिलेटिवली मोर स्टेबल, अब इसके ना 2 पॉसिबल हैं। एक तो आपको क्या पॉसिबल है कि सिस बना लो, जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूं कि मान लो ये कॉपर है, ठीक है। एक आप ये ऐसा बना सकते हो कि मान लो ट्रांस हो, ठीक है, यहां पर EN हो, यहां पर भी EN हो, ठीक है, यहां पर भी आपका EN हो, यहां पर भी EN हो, ठीक है। और एक आपका यहां पे मान लो जो भी मोनोडेंटेड लिगेंड है वो आ जाए, ठीक है। ये पॉसिबल है। और दूसरा क्या पॉसिबल है, दूसरा पॉसिबल है कि आप इस तरीके से बना लो, ठीक है, कि यहां पर हमारा EN हो जाए, ठीक है, यहां पर EN हो जाए, ठीक है, यहां पर EN हो जाए, यहां पर EN हो जाए और यहां पर आपका ये आ जाए। तो ये आपका सिस हो गया और ये आपका क्या हो गया बेटा, ट्रांस हो गया। अब इन दोनों में, सिस और ट्रांस में कौन सा ज्यादा स्टेबल है, ये ज्यादा स्टेबल है। अब अगर ये ज्यादा स्टेबल है तो कितने बन सकते हैं इसके, तो देखो क्या क्या हो सकता है। ये हो सकता है कि SCN हो, ठीक है, उसी टाइम पे ये भी हो सकता है कि SCN हो, ठीक है। फिर दूसरा हो सकता है कि ये NCS हो, फिर ये भी हो सकता है कि NCS हो, ठीक है। फिर दूसरी पॉसिबिलिटी क्या है कि ये SCN हो और ये NCS हो, ठीक है। तो यानी अलग अलग, तो यानी टोटल 3 पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं ऐसी जो बनाई जा सकती हैं, ठीक है। तो आंसर जो हो जाएगा वो 3 हो जाएगा। याद रखना ये जो है ना, ये बेसिकली 2 एंड से लिगेंड के तौर पे काम कर सकता है, ठीक है ना। आपको याद होगा ऐसे लिगेंड्स को हम लोग एम्फिडेंटेड कहते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये बेसिकली पॉसिबल है। गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, और शायद ये लास्ट क्वेश्चन भी है इस पेपर का। तो ऑन कंप्लीट कंबशन ऑफ दिस मच ग्राम ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड, ठीक है, कंटेनिंग कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन, ठीक है। तो देखो क्या हो रहा है, यहां पर कार्बन है, हाइड्रोजन भी है और ऑक्सीजन भी है। मुझे नहीं पता कंपाउंड क्या है, तो हम लोग ऐसे मान लेते हैं इसका कंबशन कराया जा रहा है ऑक्सीजन की प्रेजेंस में। और जब कंबशन कराओगे तो यहां पर क्या होगा, आप अगर बैलेंस करोगे तो X CO2 जनरेट होगा, Y/2 H2O जनरेट होगा। बैलेंस आउट कर लेना रिएक्शन को, ठीक है। यहां पर अगर आप बैलेंस करोगे तो आपके पास क्या आ जाएगा, देखो यहां पर आ जाएगा X प्लस Y/4, ठीक है, Y/4 माइनस, यहां पर Z ऑक्सीजन पहले से है ना, ठीक है। तो Z ऑक्सीजन अगर यहां से है तो इसमें Z माइनस करना पड़ेगा ताकि वो बराबर हो जाए। तो ये हो जाएगा -Z/2, ठीक है। तो इतने हो जाएंगे। चलो अब क्वेश्चन क्या है वो देखते हैं। दिस प्रोड्यूसेस दिस मच ग्राम ऑफ CO2, ठीक है, यानी इसका वेट आपको पता है 0.7938, ठीक है। तो अगर इसका वेट पता है तो इसके मोल्स पता चल जाएंगे, ठीक है। तो मोल्स ऑफ CO2 जो हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा 0.7938/44, ठीक है। इसी तरह H2O का भी आपको दिया गया है डेटा 0.4428, ठीक है। तो यहां से मोल्स ऑफ H2O भी आपको पता चल जाएगा। तो मोल्स ऑफ H2O जो आएगा वो आ जाएगा 0.4428 डिवाइडेड बाई 18, ठीक है। तो आपको मोल्स ऑफ H2O भी पता चल गया, मोल्स ऑफ CO2 भी पता चल गया, ठीक है। अब आपको क्वेश्चन में क्या फाइंड आउट करना है, परसेंटेज कंपोजिशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन। तो देखो अगर आपको ये पता चल गया तो आपको कार्बन का भी तो अमाउंट पता चल गया, ठीक है। तो मास ऑफ कार्बन जो होगा वो कितना हो जाएगा, 12 इंटू मोल्स, अरे 12 इंटू मोल्स, तो ये हो जाएगा 0.788, क्या था ये 0.7938 डिवाइडेड बाई 44। ऐसी तरीके से हाइड्रोजन का भी मास पता चल जाएगा। तो मास ऑफ हाइड्रोजन जो हो जाएगा वो कितना हो जाएगा, 1 इंटू 2, क्योंकि 2 हाइड्रोजन एटम है इसमें, ठीक है। 1 इंटू 2 इंटू इसके जितने भी मोल्स हैं 0.4428 अपॉन 18, ठीक है। तो यहां से मास ऑफ हाइड्रोजन आ गया, यहां से मास ऑफ कार्बन आ गया। अब टोटल मास आपको इसका पता ही है, ठीक है, 0.492 है। तो माइनस कर दोगे किसका बेटा, मास ऑफ कार्बन प्लस हाइड्रोजन, तो आपको पता चल जाएगा मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन। क्या पता चल जाएगा बेटा, मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन। एक बार आपको मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन पता चल गया तो परसेंटेज ऑक्सीजन कैसे करोगे, परसेंटेज ऑक्सीजन विद नथिंग बट मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन अपॉन टोटल। टोटल कितना है, टोटल मास आपको क्वेश्चन में गिवन है, दैट इज बेसिकली 0.492 इंटू 100, ठीक है। तो इसमें कुछ खास नहीं है, थोड़ी सी कैलकुलेशन ज्यादा थी इसमें, मैं मानता हूं इस क्वेश्चन में। और ऐसा क्वेश्चन उन्होंने लास्ट में गंदा सा डाल ही दिया जिसके अंदर काफी कैलकुलेशन है। पहले इसका वेट पता है तो इसके मोल्स पता चल गए, इसके मोल से हमने कार्बन का वेट निकाल लिया। यहां पर इसका वेट पता है तो इससे हमने हाइड्रोजन का मास निकाल लिया, और हाइड्रोजन के मास और कार्बन के मास को इससे टोटल से माइनस कर दिया, तो हमें मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन पता चल गया। और मास ऑफ ऑक्सीजन पता चल गया तो परसेंटेज ऑक्सीजन भी पता चल जाएगा, ठीक है। आई होप कि आपको सारे जो क्वेश्चंस हैं केमिस्ट्री के वो क्लियर होंगे। अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट है इससे रिलेटेड तो आप हमारी ऐप को विजिट कर सकते हो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हो, और अपनी जो भी डाउट्स हैं उनको आप क्लियर कर सकते हो, ठीक है। तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही केमिस्ट्री के पोर्शन से। अब आपको फिजिक्स का डिस्कशन स्टार्ट होगा।
Hello everyone, my name is Chetan Kumawat and I am physics faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. So today we are here to discuss the JEE Main solution of 28th July Shift-1 morning session. So let us just start from the first question. First question is from unit and dimension, है ना? You have to find the dimension of this quantity, right? So if you know that in electromagnetic wave, the energy density is given by B square by 2 mu naught, right? So the dimension of this quantity will be equal to the energy density, right? So energy density will be energy per unit volume. So its dimension should be m1 L minus 1 T minus 2, that is given in C option, right? Simple question, direct formula based question. Moving to the next question, है ना? So this question has a little bit longer language, but very simple question of kinematics, I should say. So there is a NCC parade which is moving with 9 km per hour. It means 9 into 5 by 18. Why I am multiplying by 5 by 18? Because I have to convert in SI unit. So it is 5 by 2 meter per second, right? Now, so let's say there is a monkey here and there is a parade starting from here, and when it reach, so when the parade was here, the monkey drops a mango, है ना? Let's say there is a mango, it is dropped and the height is given to you 19.6 meter. So by reading 19.6 we are getting the idea that we have to take the value of G as 9.8 meter per second square. So can we calculate the time taken by this mango to reach the ground? That is, we can find using second equation of motion. So displacement in minus y direction is 19.6. You have dropped this mango's initial velocity is 0 and acceleration is minus 9.8 into t square. So t square is 4. Basically time taken is 2 seconds, right? Alright, so in 2 seconds this parade from here to here they should reach if they have to catch the mango, right? So let us say this distance is d, speed you have already calculated 5/2 meter per second. I want to find the distance, so distance should be speed into time, that is 5 meter, right? So the correct answer is A option. Moving to the next question, two different experiment. An object of mass 5 kg is moving with a speed of 25 meter per second and there are two different walls and comes to rest within, in first case it reaches at rest in 3 seconds and in second case it reaches at rest in 5 seconds. So what is the question? You are having wall 1, you are having wall 2, here it also moving with 25 meter per second, here also it is moving with 25 meter per second. So can we calculate the change in momentum? Finally it is coming at rest. So in this case change in momentum will be m into v, that is 125. In this case also change in momentum will be m into v, that is again 125 because final speed is 0, है ना? So we are calculating the magnitude here. So that is the change in momentum and you know that impulse is defined as change in momentum only. So if change in momentum is 125, it means the impulse in both the cases will be same. But if we talk about the average force, so by Newton's second law we can say that average force is change in momentum divided by time, right? So in first case time is less, it means in first case force will be greater. Now let us read the question. First option says, let us read the options. First option says that impulse and average force acting on the object will be same. So I don't think they are same. Impulse is same but not the force. Impulse will be same, yes, correct, both the cases, but the average force will be different. Yes, average force will be different and first one will be greater than the second one. So B option is right. Moving to the next question. A balloon has a mass of this 10 gram in air. Okay, so let's say you are having a balloon and its mass is 10 gram. All right, and there is, let's say any hole is there, so air is getting escaped and important word is uniform rate and that rate is given to you 4.5 centimeter per second. Now the balloon shrinks in 5 seconds completely. It means all the air inside this balloon will escape in 5 seconds, right? So we have to find what is the average force acting on the balloon. So definitely there will be a force which is acting on this balloon, right? So you know that by Newton's second law force is given by delta P by delta T. If speed of escape of air is constant, it means the acceleration is constant. So we will be having two terms in this case, right? If you remember, in case of variable mass system we left with this term, and there is this term also, but in this case V is constant, so this term will be 0 and the force acting on this balloon will be V, that is given to you 4.5 centimeter per second, and dm by dt, total mass was 10, finally the mass is 0, so mass is changing by 10 gram in how much seconds? 5 seconds, right? So answer should be 9 and it is in centimeter per second, right? And dm by dt is in gram and this is also, so answer should be in Dian. And the question is also asking in Dian. Why we have written there Dian, why not Newton? Because we have taken every unit in CGS system, right? So answer should be B option. Moving to the next question. If the radius of the earth shrink by 2%, this is again a very important thing to notice, like the percentage change in radius is very less, so we can go with the error analysis formula. Its mass remains the same. Then the acceleration due to gravity. So you know that acceleration due to gravity is given by g mass of earth upon radius of earth to the whole square. G is already universal gravitational constant, mass is given to u constant. If radius is getting changed, so definitely if radius is decreasing, right, earth is shrinking, means radius is decreasing. So if radius decreases, so g will increase definitely. So answer could be C or D option. And by the error analysis, because the change in Re is very less, I can write it 2 into R by R, and this is something given to you too. So percentage change in g should be 4%. And if radius is decreasing, g will increase by 4%. That is D option. Moving to the next question, the force required to stretch a wire of cross section of this is the area, to double its length. So you know that by Hooke's law we can say that FL upon A delta L. If I talk about delta L, so final length is double and initial length is L. So this is L. So delta L by L is actually 1. So this term will be 1. We need to calculate the force. So just multiply by A into Y, right? Y is given to you 2 into 10 to the power 11. And area is given to you 1 centimeter square, means 10 to the power minus 4. So the answer should be 2 into 10 to the power 7 Newton, right? That is C option. Again, direct formula based question, even I will say according to the calculation also it's a simple question. So it is a very easy question of this paper. Carnot engine has efficiency 50%, right? So efficiency is given by 1 minus T1 upon T2, where T1 is the temperature of sink and this is the temperature of shore. So if it is 50% means half, equal to 1 minus T1 by T2. So I can say T1 by T2 is equal to half. This is my first equation. In second case, if the temperature of the sink is reduced by 40 degrees centigrade, so this is something change is given. So if you reduce the temperature in centigrade or in Kelvin, the difference is always same, right? So you can write in this case, efficiency increases by 30%. By 30% is written. Means if initial efficiency is 1 by 2, it is getting increased by 30% of 1 by 2. That should be my right statement. 1 by 2 is the initial and it's 30% is increase, right? So this one is increment in the previous one. So this is my final efficiency. So I would write T1 and temperature is reducing by 40 divided by T2. Whenever I will solve these two equations, the temperature will always come in Kelvin. Make sure that. You are not here taking this in centigrade. You are taking this here in Kelvin only, because the change is always same in both the scales, right? So you can write it 1 by 2 into 13 by 10 is equal to 1 minus T1 minus 40 divided by T2. So T1 minus 40 divided by T2 is equal to 1 minus 13 by 20, that is 7 by 20. Okay, and we need to find the temperature of shores, means T2 we need to find. So we have to eliminate T1. So T1 ko I can write from here T2 by 2. So just put here T1 as T2 by 2. So T2 by 2 minus 40 is equal to 7 T2 by 20. 20 is LCM. So 10 minus 7, that is 3 T2 is equal to 40. So T2 is 800 by 3 Kelvin, that is 266.7 Kelvin, given in C option, right? So if from Carnot engine efficiency formula, JEE Mains is asking in every attempt, in every year. So definitely it is very important thing to notice, right? Moving to the next question from KTG, I guess. Yes, the average momentum of a molecule in a sample of an ideal gas depends on temperature. So people do mistake that momentum is given by mv if they are asking you the average. So average speed is given by root RT by pi m. So they will say, yeah, it depends on the temperature, but you need to make sure that momentum is actually a vector quantity and you don't have to take here speed, you have to take the velocity, right? And due to the random motion, the displacement is 0 and the average velocity is 0. So the average momentum will be 0. So first one is wrong. If first one is wrong, so definitely you can choose the option, and you don't have to read even the statement 2 in exam. But yeah, definitely First one is wrong, that is given in this option only, right? This first one is wrong, right? So D should be my answer, but yeah, as we are solving this paper right now, so we should understand the second statement also. The RMS speed of oxygen is given by V. You know that RMS speed formula is √3 RT by M. This is something V1 given to you. If the temperature is doubled, that temperature is getting doubled, okay? So the new speed should be 3R upon 2T. Okay, and the oxygen molecule dissociates into the oxygen. So if it will dissociate, so mass will be reduced by 2. So 2 into 2 is 4, and that square root will be 2. So it will be 2 times of initial speed. That is right. So this one is right, first one is wrong. So that is given in D option. All right, moving to the next question. This is a wave equation and we need to find the velocity of wave. So velocity of wave is given by coefficient of t divided by coefficient of x. So coefficient of t is 2 pi by lambda into 100, but 2 pi by lambda will also come here, so that will get cancelled. So I can write here 400 divided by 1, that is 400 meter per second. The simplest question of this paper, that is C option. Moving to the next question. Two capacitor each having capacitor 40 microfarad are connected in series. Okay. Alright, the space between one of the capacitor is filled with the dielectric material of dielectric constant K such that the equivalent capacitance of the system becomes 24 microfarad. So you are having two capacitors, both are having in air like 40 microfarad. The space between one of the capacitor is filled with the dielectric of dielectric constant, let's say this is one is K. And it is given to you that A epsilon naught by D is 40. That is something given in you, given to you in the question. Both are D, right? All right. Now dielectric constant K is given, and now in this case equivalent capacitance becomes 24 microfarad. So you know that in series equivalent capacitance is written as C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, that is given to you 24. C1 is the capacitance of this. If you have filled with the dielectric constant, it will become Kc times, let me say it C, right? This one is no change in the second one. So Kc plus C is equal to 24, one C will get cancelled. Kc is equal to 24K plus 24, right? And this C value is 40, 40 minus 24 is 16K is equal to 24, so K is 3 by 2, means dielectric constant is 1.5, that is given in A option. Alright, moving to the next question. A wire of resistance R1 is drawn out so that its length is increased by, again a very important word, its length is not increased to twice, it is increased by twice, means the final length is initial plus increased by 2L, it will be 3L. And you know that if you will stretch it, so if you will make any change in the wire, any change in the length of the wire, area will also get changed. So what we will do, we will try to reduce this expression like this. This is volume, area into length. Now volume will be constant for that wire. Rho is the property of material, so resistance is proportional to L square. So if length is getting 3 times, then resistance will be definitely 9 times, right? Because it is proportional to L square. And the ratio of new resistance R2 by R1 will be 9:1. All right. So A option is right. Moving to the next question. Current sensitivity of a galvanometer can be increased by decreasing the number of turns, increasing the magnetic field, decreasing the area of the coil, blah blah blah. So we are having 4 options. We have to check which one is right. So in case of galvanometer, you have read in moving coil galvanometer that torque in a moving coil galvanometer is given by NIAB. Basically it comes from M into B, M cross B, right? That formula. And this you can write K into theta NIAB, where K is torsional constant, and sensitivity is given by, current sensitivity is given by theta by I, right? So that will be NAB by K. Now see this formula and read all the options, you will get direct answer. If you are decreasing the number of turns, if N is decreasing, so definitely current sensitivity will decrease, and we want to increase, so this one is wrong. Okay, increasing the magnetic field, if you will increase the magnetic field, so current sensitivity will also increase, right? So that one is right. Decreasing the area of the coil, if you will decrease the area, current sensitivity will also decrease by seeing this formula, right? And the decrement is given and we want increment, so this one is also wrong. Decreasing the torsional constant, so if you will decrease the K, so this is in denominator, current sensitivity will increase, right? So this one is also right. So what are the options which are right? B and D, that is given in D option. Simple question, direct formula based question, but yeah, you must know this, like this is something we have read in moving coil galvanometer topic. Moving ahead, good question, we do generally this question in while reading the chapter also. And there is an inclined plane like this, and you are having a wire which is having current inside this, and magnetic field is upward. So just tell me what will be the direction of magnetic field. Magnetic field is given by I L cross B, and L is taken in the direction of current. Direction of current is already visible to you, that is inside the paper. So if this one is I and B is up, so if I will do I cross B, so that will be the direction, right, of magnetic force. And what other forces are acting on this? There will be a mg force. If it is in equilibrium and this angle is 45 degrees, so definitely this angle will be 45, this will also be 45, है ना, this will also be 45. mg का इधर वाला component is mg cos 45 or sin 45, that is mg by root 2, and magnetic force का इधर वाला component is fm cos 45, that is root 2. If this wire is in equilibrium, so both has to be equal, means magnetic force is actually equal to mg, right? Root 2 and root 2 will get cancelled, and magnetic force is given by ILB is equal to mg. We have to find the minimum current flowing, we have to find the current, so that is mg by L into B. Okay, so mass is m by L is already given to you 0.5, not mass directly, it is mass per unit length, that's what we want, right? G is 10 and B is 0.15, so current should be 30 ampere, right? That is in A option. So this was a question which we generally do in every, like whenever we read this chapter, we do this question a lot. You will be having this question in your coaching material or sheets also. Moving to the next question, the equation of current in a purely conductive circuit is given by this. Important word is purely inductive. So if you are having purely inductive circuit, current is in this direction and voltage is always leads by 90 degree from the current, or you can say like current lags from the by the 90 degree with the voltage, you can also say like that, right? And we have to find the voltage equation. So if you know the current, first find the voltage ka amplitude, maximum voltage. So it will be I maximum into Z. I maximum is 5, Z is only purely inductive is there, so Z you can write omega into L. Z you can write omega into L, right? So 5, omega value is 49 pi, L is 30 millihenry, so you can write 0.03. Alright, so let us just try to multiply it. 0.15 into 49 into 20. Yeah, let me just keep it in terms of pi only, because we are having the options in pi also, है ना? So but we are finding the maximum voltage, so it will be 22 by 7, this is 7 times, and it will be 1.05 into 22, so it will be something like 11 1 1 23 23.1 volt should be the maximum voltage, right? That is given in first C and D option. 49 pi t should be there, 49 omega t should be there, but voltage should lag, voltage should lead with the current by 90 degree. So minus 30 plus 90 will be plus 60. Plus 60 is given in D option, right? So simple question, just you have to calculate this maximum value by using this formula, or you can say Ohm's law, then you just have to write, you have to check that voltage always leads with the current. So it was pretty much clear कि option either will be B or D, because they both are they only are leading with the current by 90 degree, right? So you just have to focus on this term. Moving ahead, so passing through the medium 1, a light is coming from this medium 1, then it is passing through this, and then it is this. You have to find the speed in V2, right? So you know that speed is given by, speed in any medium is given by C by N, where N is refractive index. You might have heard C by mu, that is fine, but it is always taken as relative. It is always taken as relative through the medium 1 is the speed of the light V2. Yeah, okay. So this is 3 into 10 to the power 8. If light is coming in this medium, then the relative mu will be, first if you are having relative permeability and relative permittivity, so mu is actually like this. So this question, this equation comes from electromagnetic chapter. So you can write that its refractive index is √4, that is 2, its refractive index is √9, that is 3. So relative refractive index will be 3 by 2. So my answer should be 10 to the power 8 meter per second, but here you have to check whether you have taken this right or not. So you can find this V1 also. V1 will be C by mu relative, that is 2. So V2 will be C by 2, its speed is here, and mu relative will be 3 by 2. So answer should be C by 3, that is 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So what we have done here mistake is, we have taken here C, but actually we have to take here V1. That will be 3 by 2. So it will be 1 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, that is given in A option, right? So this was something people do generally, like C by mu relative they take and do the answer. But you have to keep in mind that if you are taking mu relative here, then you have to consider that from which medium light is coming. So if light was coming from this medium, so you have to take this speed only, not the vacuum wala speed. Like in this case it was coming from vacuum, that is why we have taken here C. Okay, so moving ahead, a normal adjustment for a refractive telescope, the distance between objective and eyepiece, and that is something written by FO plus FE, that is given to you 30 centimeter, and the focal length of the objective when the angular magnification of telescope is 2 centimeters. So angular magnification is given by FO by FE, that is 2. So we want FO, right? So I can write FE as FO by 2 is equal to 30. So from here FO is equal to 20 centimeter, right? That is A option. Direct formula based question from telescope. Moving to the next question. So this is something we generally do remember this formula, but they have asked you that directly, like if lambda is something like this, tell me what is exactly X is. So de Broglie wavelength is given by H upon P. And momentum you can write by 2m kinetic energy. Kinetic energy can be written by Q into potential difference applied. V is accelerating potential. Now we want to find de Broglie wavelength for electron. So interestingly, if you will put the value of H, mass of electron and charge of electron, you will get this exact term 227 nanometer divided by √V. So X is actually √V, that is D option. So I would say whenever you make the short notes, or if you are having your notes, please see this topic, de Broglie wavelength. You will find this formula. This is direct formula which is also given in NCERT. So in case of electron, you can remember this. So if you are having your short notes, that is the benefit to make the short notes, that you can whenever you are attempting the exam, you can directly click, this is something we have I have already seen in the morning itself. Moving to the next question, half-life of a radioactive substance is given to you. Time taken to this should not be 7 by 8 of its original mass to disintegrate will be. So if 7 by 8 is disintegrated, how much is remained? N0 में से 7 by 8 is disintegrated, so remaining will be N0 by 8. That is actually 1 by 2 to the power 3 into N0, right? So you can see from this expression like 3 half-lives have spent, right? Because in one half-life N0 by 2, in second N0 by 4, in third N0 by 8, that is where. So if this is the half-life 60 days, so total time should be 60 into 3, that is 180 days. That is C option. Alright, moving to the next question. This is again a direct theory based question. In semiconductors we read about the solar cell function, and in solar cell you are having PN junction. There is a depletion layer, P is having holes, this is having so much of electrons, and there are electrons, protons, electrons filled here, and initially due to the incidence of light, solar light, you get a potential, right? Initially there is no current and potential. So the graph should start like this. Initially there is no current and potential, and after that you will have no potential difference and maximum current. So this is the graph for solar cell, and this is something known as open circuit voltage, and this is something known as short circuit current. Direct theory based question, so students must remember the graph for solar cell as well as for LED also. Moving to the next question, in case of amplitude modulation to avoid distortion, so there is a term called as mu, which we say modulation index, which is given by AM by AC. Okay, so this should be less than 1 to avoid distortion. If it is greater than 1, there will be so much of distortion and so much of mixing of signals. So it should be less than or equal to 1. Okay. Moving to the next question. So the projection of this vector on this vector is given to you 0. You have to find the alpha. You know that the projection of A vector on B vector is given by A vector dot B cap. This is something equal to 0. So A vector dot B cap you can write. So eventually what we have to do is dot product is 0, right? So dot product is 2 into 1 is 2, 4 into 2 is 8, minus 2 into alpha is minus 2 alpha equal to 0, 2 alpha equal to 10, so alpha has to be 5, right? So answer should be 5, the value of alpha. Moving to the next question, a freshly prepared radioactive source of half-life is 2 hours 30 minutes, okay, emits radiation which is 60 times the permissible safe level. So safe level is actually, let's say something X, but this initially it is having 64 times of safe level. So if permissible level is X, initially it is having 64X, and there is a term called e की power minus lambda t, right? And 1 by 64 you can write 2 to the power 4, you can write 6, right? So basically you can write here like this also, that 6 half-life already spent, 6 half-life have already spent. Okay, so freshly prepared radioactive nucleus, this 2 hours 30 minutes is the half-life of it. So just multiply this with 6. So 6 2s are 12 hour plus 6 into 30, 180 minute. 180 minute means 3 hours, right? So the total time will be 15 hours. Total time will be 15 hours to reach this safe level. Initially we were having more than the safe level, and to reach the safe level we have to spend 15 hours. We have to wait for 15 hours. Moving to the next question, a Young's double slit experiment, a laser light of this produce an interface pattern with consecutive bright fringe separation. That is something I guess known as fringe width, and fringe width is given by lambda d by d. That is, in first case it is given to you 7.2 mm. Now another light is used to produce an interference pattern with consecutive bright fringe separation. The new this is lambda 1, this is lambda 2 by d. In second case you have used another light which is again having another separation. Now what you have to do is you have to find the wavelength of second light, that is lambda 2. Just divide these two expressions, you will get lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to 8 by 9. You have to find lambda 2, that will be 9 by 8 times of lambda 1, that is 560, 70, so it is 630 nanometer is my answer. Alright, moving to the next question, the frequency at which the current amplitude in an LCR circuit becomes 1 by root 2. This is something important concept we skip while reading the AC chapter, and this is half power concept there is in AC, like the current becomes 1 by root 2, or you can say power becomes half. At there the frequencies are given to you like this, and the difference in frequency is given by R by L. That is something known as bandwidth. So if you will subtract them, it will be 20, right? 232 minus 212 is 20. I need the value of inductance. Resistance is given to me 5 divided by 20, that is 1 by 4 Henry, but I have to find in millihenry, so it will be 250 millihenry. Just multiply by 1000 up and down, right, in numerator and denominator. So answer should be 250 millihenry. Moving to the next question from potentiometer. As shown in the figure, a potentiometer wire of resistance 20 ohm. So this wire is having 20 ohm resistance, okay, and length is 3 meter, or you can write 300 centimeter. Okay, is connected with a resistance box. Its resistance is R, and a standard cell of EMF 4 volt. So in case of balancing the current in potentiometer, you can calculate, right? The entire current goes through the primary circuit. That current will be the EMF upon total resistance. Total resistance is 20 plus R. Can you calculate the potential difference across potentiometer wire? Right? Its resistance we know 20, so it will be I into its resistance, that will be 80 upon 20 plus R. Okay, so this is the potential difference across AB. All right, now the value of R we have to find, and the next question says the box introduced into the circuit, the null point of 20 millivolt is found to be 60 centimeter, means this length is 60 centimeter. So in 300 centimeter, this is the potential difference. So in a 1 centimeter, or you can say the potential gradient will be this, and in 60 centimeter, this will be the potential difference. Please make sure this is simple unitary method you need to understand. In 300 centimeter, this is the potential difference. So in 1 centimeter, this by 300 will be the potential difference, and I want in 60, so I will multiply it by 60. That is given to you potential difference 20 millivolt, 0.02 volt. Okay, this was in centimeter, this was in centimeter, so no effect will be no effect will be there. Both units will get cancelled. So 80 upon 20 plus R is equal to 0.1. 0.1 is 1 by 10. So R is equal to 800 minus 20, that is 780 ohm. So my answer should be 780 ohm for this resistance box. All right. So potentiometer is the topic, or meter bridge is the topic in current electricity from which JEE Mains and JEE Advanced do not skip the questions, right? Moving to the next question. Two electric dipoles are there. This first one dipole moment is given. First one is placed in this electric field. Second one dipole moment is given, and second one is placed in this electric field. And what you need to do is you have to find the maximum torque. Torque on the dipole is given by PE sin theta, right? The ratio we need to find. So maximum torque will be PE, right? So in first case and in second case we have to find, means P1 E1 divided by P2 E2. Such a simple question, just multiply them. So you will have 6 into 10 to the power minus 26. Just multiply these two, 2.4 into 15 into 10 to the power minus 26. This will get cancelled, and this is 0.4 times. So 1 upon 6 is my final expression, right? So if you will compare with 1 by x, so your x value is 6. The value of x is 6. All right. Moving to the next question. The frequency of echo will be if the train, this is a question from Doppler effect, and this question also we do in regular classes. So let's say there is a train which blows a horn of frequency f, and it is, let's say, moving with 360 km per hour, means we have to convert in SI unit, that is 10 meter per second, right? So it is moving with 10 meter per second. We have to find the frequency of echo, not the emanated, right? So what frequency will reach to this wall? First let us just find that. So due to Doppler effect, f, c is speed of sound, and in numerator we are having velocity of observer, and in denominator velocity of source. So observer is wall which is at rest. source is moving towards the wall, means frequency should increase, so it should be minus 10. Now the same frequency will reflect and will reach to the train driver, so frequency of echo will be this frequency. Again the Doppler law C, Doppler equation C. Now you see, now this one is observer which is moving towards the wall, so it will have a speed as plus 10, right? And who is the source? Wall, which is at rest, so it will be 0, right? So my final expression becomes f c plus 10 upon c minus 10. So frequency is given by 320 initially, which is the frequency of horn by the train, and c plus 10 is there. C is given to you 330, c plus 10 will be 340, c minus 10 will be 320, both will get cancelled, and frequency of echo will be 340 hertz. So answer should be 340. I would say this question as medium type question, first of all because people do not know how to apply the Doppler effect, that is the only reason. Otherwise calculation wise this is a very easy question. Alright, so if you know, once you know the formula and once you know how to apply the Doppler effect, you can find the echo frequency very easily, because this is something not having a complex calculation. Moving to the next question. The diameter of an air bubble which is initially 2 mm raises steadily through a solution. So this bubble is going upward. How? Why? Why is it possible? Because the buoyant force is there, mg force is there, and if it is going upward, so there will be viscous force 6 pi eta rv on a spherical object, right? And air is basically having negligible density, it means mg is very less. So both force, buoyant force and viscous force has to be balanced if it is moving with constant speed, they have said that, okay. And what we need to find is coefficient of viscosity, and buoyant force is given by rho volume into g, rho vg, okay, 6 pi eta radius into velocity. So what I need to do is I need to find eta, है ना? So radius को let us just write capital V, capital R. So eta will be 2 by 9 g r square into rho, that will be something divided by V, right? Just see the above expression, or if you remember the direct formula of terminal velocity, that is also fine, just put the density of the material as 0, in that you will get the same expression, right? So let us put all the values here, है ना? This is, I hope this this also become like a simpler calculation. G is 10, r square, so radius is given or not, 2 mm is there, so 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 is r square. Rho is the density of liquid in which it is going, so that is 1740, divided by V. V is the speed, that is 35 into 10 to the power minus 4, right? 0.35 is there. So if you will convert in SI unit, that will be something like this. So if anything is cancelling, so let us that we have to calculate, it is 50 times, okay. So it is something 8 by 9 into 10 to the power minus 5 minus 4 minus 1 into 50. So it is 4 by 9 into 10 means 40 by 9. So it is 4.4. I guess there is something wrong. So let us just check if anything is fine. And a calculation looks beautiful from a little distance. 8 by 9. 7 is already got cancelled. 10 into 10 to the power minus 6 is there. How minus 6 came from here, right? R square. Was it diameter? It was a diameter. It was not a radius. We have taken the diameter as radius. So let me divide my final answer by 4, है ना? Because this should be only 1. So my final answer should have like this. Okay, so answer should be 1.1, है ना? And that will be in poijoule, right? Because that is the SI unit of viscosity. And the important part, the mistakes students has done is in this part. This is poise, CGS unit. है ना. And how to find poiseuly to poise, just multiply with 10, so you will have 11 poise answer, है ना. And you can see nearest integer is asked, so 11 will be my final answer. Students has done one mistake also. They have seen, yeah, it is 1 point something, so 1 is there, so somebody has put it only 1 in the answer. And if somebody has checked the poise also, so he has just multiplied by 10 and he had gotten the answer 10 also. So don't do these mistakes, है ना. These are very silly mistakes. Answer will be not 10, answer will be 11. Okay, this is not right. So you have to divide properly. Don't go away from the calculation in these type of questions. Moving ahead, so a block of mass is given. Kinetic energy with E is compresses a spring through a distance of 25 centimeter and its speed is getting half. So speed is getting half means kinetic energy will be E by 4. So change in kinetic energy is actually 3E by 4. That will come due to work done by spring force, that is given by half kx square. Simple. And I need to find k, right? I need to find k. So 3E by 4 is equal to half k. I need to find x is given 25 by centimeter means 1 by 4 meter. So that will be 1 by 16. So it is 4. So k value will be 8 into 3E, that is 24E. Just compare with this expression, the value of n will be 24. I hope we haven't made any calculation mistake here. Speed is half, so kinetic energy will be E by 4, obviously change in will be 3 by 4, that is will be equal to half kx square, x is 1 by 4 I guess, yes, so 1 by 16, 4, 4, 2, 8, 8 here, 24 is the final answer. Moving ahead, so this is the combination of disk given to you, and the important part and the silly mistakes student done is don't read that A is the diameter, not the radius. And in this type of question you are not having options, so definitely you can do the mistakes, right, because you have to fill the answer. This is the diameter, not radius. Okay, so let me just take their radius as r, right. So you know that this axis is passing through the diameter of this disk and this disk, and due to disk the moment of inertia is mr square by 4. We are having two disks, one is this and one is this, so this will be the moment of inertia due to these two. And due to diameter of the disk, if it is mr square by 4, so if you find from the tangential axis, you can apply the parallel axis theorem, ICM plus MD square. So due to this disk only, what will be the moment of inertia? mr square by 4 plus MD square means 5 by 4 mr square. This is due to single disk. You are having two disks which are tangential to the axis. So my expression should be 2 times of 5 mr square by 4. This was due to only one, we are having 2. That is why here 2. So 5 2s are 10, 10 to 12, 12 by 4 is 3 mr square. And people have just seen this and just got ki x should be 12. That is wrong answer because r is radius, a is diameter. So you have to put r as a by 2. So this should be my final answer, and if you will compare them, the value of x will not be 12, it will be 3. Alright, so that is the final answer.